Manitoba. It is Monday, September the 8th. You're watching CTV Morning Live. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, Harvest Manitoba is celebrating a big milestone this year, 40 years. Of course, it started as Winnipeg Harvest 40 years ago. We're going to take you through those years and just why it started 40 years ago and where it's at right now and what you could do to support them because they really need your help feeding Winnipeg's hungry. But first, your headlines. North End fires. How many times has one of the Redwood Avenue homes involved burned in the last 2 years? Overwhelming rejection. Industry watchers and travelers cast a nervous eye on Air Canada vote results. And frost on these Interlake pumpkins is thawed by the warm hearts and helping hands of some kind strangers. Bringing in Terry now. Some parts of Manitoba saw some frost this weekend.
I'm not surprised. It was pretty cool leading into the weekend. Sunday got a little bit warmer, and now we're going to kind of get back to more seasonal temperatures throughout this week. It's going to be a whole lot warmer than it was last week. I know last week was a little bit of a shock to a lot of folks. So better weather now. Moving forward. Ooh, look at that. Yeah, the full moon from last night. Isn't that something to see? The blood moon, they call this one, because there was a lunar eclipse happening at the same time, and there was a period of time where it turned a really deep crimson color. So there it is this morning. Not in its crimson color, but just back to being full and gorgeous. 10 degrees right now with south winds gusting to 29 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 84%. Above seasonal temperatures is 7 degrees. That would be a normal low. So we're already above normal and we'll continue to make some nice gains throughout the day today. There are some heavier clouds out there, not so many that they're blocking the moon. We're actually on the clearer side here in the very south, but you can see in areas just north of us the heavier clouds, that bit of precipitation. And here in Winnipeg, we do have the possibility of seeing some passing showers. A little more through parts of northeastern Manitoba. That never reads on the satellite image, but you can see it there on the futurecast. And the heavier clouds are likely to last through the day. We might start to see a bit more clearing across parts of northern Manitoba through the afternoon, and then overnight it begins to clear out here in southern Manitoba. That'll set us up for plenty of sunshine tomorrow and for the next couple of days. And as far as temperatures go, even with the lack of sunshine today, we're still likely to climb slightly above normal. So with 20 degrees being normal now for this time of year, we're likely to hit 22 today, and then be shooting up into these almost mid-20s as we're looking through the rest of the week. A lot more sunshine for the next couple of days, but then another round of precipitation once we're looking toward the end of the week.
Thank you, Terry. 2 homes caught fire early Saturday morning in Winnipeg's North End. Firefighters were called to the 400 block of Redwood Avenue just after 12 a.m. When crews arrived, they found 2 houses burning, one of them vacant and boarded up. Firefighters brought it under control about an hour later. According to the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service, one of the homes has now burned 6 times in the past 2 years, twice in 2023, 3 times in 2024, and Saturday is the 6th time. No injuries were reported and the cause of fire is under investigation. Air Canada flight attendants overwhelmingly rejected a tentative offer in a vote that ended Saturday. And for now, at least, travelers have their back. CTV's Tyler Burrow reports.
Air Canada flight attendants are at the bargaining table, but still far apart on a deal. Travelers at Calgary's airport have no problem with them fighting for more.
The airlines have been taking their fair chunk out of all of us for a long time. So I think it's okay for these guys to keep fighting.
They're asking for the bare minimum, and I think that they deserve what they're asking for.
The tentative deal voted down raised wages for workers and established a pay structure for time worked when aircrafts are on the ground. It included a 12% salary increase this year for most junior flight attendants and an 8% bump for more senior members, followed by smaller raises in subsequent years. Over 90% of union members voted it down.
I can't remember the last time that 99% of the members overturned or voted down the deal negotiated by their own leadership. So it suggests that they're very, very upset.
The deal that was turned down ended a strike at the airline last month. The union representing the airline did blame the federal government for allegedly giving Air Canada leverage in negotiations. The airline says the wage portion will now be referred to mediation as previously agreed to by both sides.
There's a gap between what the flight attendants are looking for and what Air Canada is offering. So hopefully this process will close it.
Since Air Canada and CUPE, the union representing the flight attendants, agreed to mediation, there will be no strike or lockout, and flights will continue to operate. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
No one was hurt after a flight from Toronto to St. Martin experienced a hard landing, forcing passengers to evacuate the plane using the aircraft's emergency slides. The WestJet flight landed hard Sunday afternoon. Emergency services responded immediately and deployed foam as a precaution. All passengers made it off the aircraft safely, but the incident did cause delays for people who were supposed to board that plane for a flight back to Toronto. A number of passengers were left waiting at the airport for hours before being told the flight was canceled. WestJet says it is waiting for confirmation of the exact nature of the incident. We're expecting an update from the RCMP today about one of Canada's most wanted criminals. Robbie Al Khalil escaped from a BC prison in 2022. At the time, he was facing murder charges linked to gang-related killings. He was convicted while on the run after his escape. Al Khalil is number 3 right now on Canada's most wanted list. An almost 4-year manhunt in New Zealand has ended in a shootout, and 3 children have been recovered safely.
The scene where the children were located will be guarded overnight, and a full forensic examination will form part of our investigative work in the days to come.
Tom Phillips was shot and killed early this morning. He had been on the run since 2021 after taking his 3 children from their family home and fleeing into the wilderness. This footage released by New Zealand police shows Phillips and one of his children allegedly trying to break into a store. One child was with Phillips when he was fatally shot by police. That child was taken into police custody. According to the authorities, that child helped officers locate the other 2 siblings. Their mother says she's saddened by the events, but also deeply relieved her children's ordeal has come to an end. Dozens of Winnipeggers gathered Saturday morning walking to raise funds and awareness for Parkinson's disease. Parkinson Canada's National Super Walk campaign hosted the Manitoba Walk at the Canadian Mennonite University. This year's goal was $2.9 million across the country, with Manitoba aiming for $25,000. Organizers say the money raised will be used for peer mentoring, support groups, and a new online directory of services. One of the organizers was diagnosed with the disease at the age of 40. He says the disease can be isolating, but hope is still here.
It has so much stigma behind it, and it wants to keep you at bay. And to turn that around, to get out, get active, get in the community. There's so much joy, there's so much life. This is a great community. There's an amazing community of people that just want better and want better for themselves. So there's so much life left to live.
Parkinson Canada says the disease is one of the fastest growing neurological conditions in the country and affecting younger Canadians more than ever. An Interlake pumpkin farmer says she's overwhelmed by the kindness of strangers after a social media post assembled a community-wide effort to save her crops. Melody Schwabe runs Schwabe Pumpkins in the RM of St. Andrews. After a damaging frost Friday morning, she posted an emotional video asking for help. Within hours, many people who she'd never met showed up to help harvest pumpkins before another frost hit. Some brought food and drinks. Others came with their kids ready to work. Schwabe says she's still trying to find the words to express her gratitude.
I'm just so grateful for everybody, and literally I'm blown away by the people that showed up. Like, you know, the sweetest people. Yeah, humans are pretty wonderful.
Schwabe says the pumpkins were still premature, but the frost forced an early harvest. She hopes to find ways to give back to the community that rallied around her. The facelift to London's Big Ben that was first revealed in 2022 has been nominated for a major award. The work is up for RIBA Sterling Prize, Britain's leading architecture award. They say the 5-year refurbishment of the tower is a veritable masterclass in conservation and craftsmanship, which preserves a defining symbol of British heritage. The facelift has been widely praised despite the cost overruns the project had. The annual Banjo Bowl returned to Winnipeg on Saturday with Bombers fans going all out. Fans gathered at Princess Auto Stadium to show their support for our city's football team. It was a little rainy before the game started, but the support dried the raindrops out. The Rough Riders did take the Banjo Bowl with a 21-13 win, marking their first victory in the rivalry game since 2018. Saskatchewan visits Winnipeg again on October 17th. The Bombers visit the Hamilton Tiger Cats on Friday. And here's a look at what's happening in traffic at Confusion Corner. It looks like things are starting off really well for this Monday morning. No issues to tell you about at this point in the drive. If you see any problems out there, please let us know. Let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who is live this morning with Harvest Manitoba. It's a big milestone for them, 40 years, Ainsley.
Rochelle, 1985, which is when the then Winnipeg Harvest got it all started. 200,000 pounds of food a week is being distributed to hungry Manitobans. Now that figure, 200,000, is what back in 1985 they would have delivered in a year's time. And I'm sure at that time that stat was staggering. 50,000 Manitobans are served by the food bank, and the broader community, over 100,000 people, including many of them children. And we're going to be learning about the Meals to Go program coming up later in the show. So Vince Barletta joins us, the president and CEO. We're also going to be chatting with Siri, who's the daughter of one of the co-founders of Winnipeg Harvest back 40 years ago. So we're getting a history lesson, and we're also learning about the future and what it means for so many of us.
Sounds good. Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now where our Terry is. And how's the day starting off this morning, Terry?
Perfect. I am basking in moonlight, Rochelle, and nothing makes me happier. Honestly, sometimes I come out here and I can't see the moon where its placement is in the sky, whether it be, you know, just behind some of the buildings or sometimes behind the clouds. Well, it's clear enough right now. There are just a couple of clouds out here, but it is perfectly positioned right now between one of the True North towers in the Hydro building, and it is looking stunning. 9 degrees at the moment, so we've slipped into the single digits, but we are still above seasonal, with 7 being a normal low temp this time of year. And the winds have eased from last hour. They're 18 clicks out of the south. The pressure is falling, humidity at 89%. So clear enough right now that the moon is beautifully on display, which means when the sun rises, which still isn't happening for almost an hour, 6:54. So just almost, I was going to say 5 minutes to 7, but technically 6 minutes to 7, that sun will begin to rise. We might see a little bit of it in the morning hours, but then those clouds will be building up throughout the day today. So don't expect to see abundant sunshine today. You might see a little more of it across parts of northern Manitoba, especially the northwest. Northeastern Manitoba may see some scattered showers. We too may see some scattered showers as those clouds build up through the day today, but then all of that sunshine will be back again tomorrow. And even with maybe a lack of sunshine today, still above seasonal temperatures all throughout this week. Mercury into those low to mid 20s. Taking a break right now. We'll be back with more on CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live weather brought to you by Garage Masters, your complete garage specialists.
It is 6:15. A former Blue Bomber is entering the race to lead the Manitoba Liberal Party.
It's time to get together. It's time to resolve issues, and it's time to get things done.
Willard Reeves announced his bid for the Manitoba Liberal leadership on Sunday, speaking in front of the legislature. He was named deputy leader of the party in November 2023, but stepped down from the role in June 2024. Reeves says it's time for change.
We need to change the way we do our politics. We need to stop opposing everything that someone brings up and work together to get a solution. We have lots of problems here, lots of problems. And the only way we can do it is by being together.
Reeves ran in the 2022 Fort White by-election, but lost to Abhi Khan, now leader of the Progressive Conservatives. He ran again in the 2023 general election and was defeated a second time. Justin Trudeau's biggest climate policies are being undone by his successor. Since becoming Prime Minister, Mark Carney has cancelled the consumer carbon tax and this past week paused Canada's electric vehicle mandate. As CTV's Colton Prail reports, some worry without a clear path forward, politicians may be leaving environmental policies in the past.
Climate-centric policies, once a hallmark of the Liberal government, are now being undone. And that's generating plenty of concern.
I think all Canadians should be concerned that this government is backtracking on climate action at a time when wildfires are still burning across this country.
Friday, Ottawa paused the 2026 target for 20% of vehicle sales to be electric and announced a review of the EV mandate. Mark Carney insists his government isn't stepping back from climate action. But when pressed, the industry minister would only clearly commit to Canada's 2050 net zero targets.
So we won't let go our climate goals, and we will continue to entice companies to develop clean tech solutions.
In a statement, the Environment Minister's office says Canada will provide an update on its emissions reduction plan as we strive towards our 2030 and 2035 targets. Canada has committed to reducing emissions by 45 to 50% compared to 2005 levels by 2035. But government models estimate it will only reach 24 to 38%.
Investment is...
The Conservatives are pushing Carney to go even further.
He's finally admitted that the Conservatives were right, just like we were right on the carbon tax. But he's doing a clumsy retreat.
Poilievre says Carney should drop Canada's industrial carbon pricing and the oil and gas emissions cap.
Mr. Poilievre is clearly not making climate change at all a priority. In fact, is moving policy from a Conservative perspective further away from things that might actually help solve the problem. And that maybe creates more space for Mr. Carney to continually differentiate.
Carney says elements of his climate plan will be announced through upcoming major projects, while a full competitiveness strategy will be unveiled in the coming weeks.
The U.S. president received a mixed reception Sunday night in his hometown. A chorus of boos and cheers greeted Donald Trump Sunday as he made an appearance at the U.S. Open. Trump was flanked by several top administrative officials as he attended the tennis tournament's final match. The Ovarian Cancer Canada's Walk of Hope took place at Kildonan Park on Sunday. More than 400 participants joined the walk, and over $80,000 were brought into Manitoba. This year, Manitoba's health minister joined the event and announced a $1 million investment from the provincial government to support research right here at home. Cancer Care Manitoba says this will help to position the province towards leadership in women's health.
What that means is that now what we'll put together is an independent panel that will review grant applications from the research in the province to try to get those funds to be spent on the most impactful research for women in the province of Manitoba. It shows that the efforts that people have putting forward are really making an impact here within the province.
Organizers hope the funding will lead to better testing, treatment, and awareness, since the symptoms are often hard to detect. More than 25,000 people showed up in Assiniboine Park on Sunday with a teddy bear. The 36th annual Teddy Bears Picnic gathered lots of teddy bears ready to receive medical care. Organizers say it all started by a group of volunteers to bring the children's healthcare community together. This year, the Dr. Goodbear Clinic brought parents and children in line to have their teddy bears get the medical help. X-rays and MRI machines were also ready for teddy bear imaging. Organizers say the event is all about demystifying healthcare.
You know, over 150,000 kids every single year come to the Children's Hospital for their health needs. And it's really important for our health community to create this foundation where those kids at moments of more fun and engaging can interact with those healthcare heroes.
The picnic also offered entertainments on stage, face painting, crafts, and food trucks. Here's what's happening now at Portage at Polo Park. It looks like things are moving well over here. No issues to tell you about at this point. If you see any problems out there, though, please let us know.
CTV Morning Live Traffic brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. No appointment needed.
Looking through the Bathfitter Live Eye, Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Still dark out there, and it will be till 6:54. Well, it won't be dark until then. We'll start to see the day glow in advance of that. But 6:54 is when the sun will officially begin to rise. So we will have another 20 minutes or so of darkness before we're even starting to see some more of that light. 9 degrees is where we're sitting right now, which is still slightly above seasonal. That's down from our 5 a.m. reading of 10. 10, but 7 is in fact a normal low temperature. Morden Winkler coming in at 7, and there are a couple of places that are just below seasonal. We've got Brandon and Portage, as well as Sprague at 6 degrees, but nearly everybody else is either at that seasonal 7 or even above, with some double digits across parts of southern Manitoba and northern Manitoba. Flin Flon at 11, Island Lake at 10, or other places are just in those mid to high single digits. Things will be a little bit clearer up in the northwestern part of the province. You can see the band of clouds and the precipitation that might be up in parts of the northeast as well. And in fact, even here in Winnipeg, there is the possibility that we'll see some scattered showers through the day today. We'll have a little more sunshine first thing this morning. 12 degrees expected into the 8 o'clock hour when we're sending kids off to school. 21 by the time they're coming home, so warmer temps than last week, but we'll see those clouds building up. And with those clouds increasing, there is that chance of the showers. But then it clears out overnight and sets us up for plenty of sunshine for the next couple of days before the next round of rain moves in by the end of the week. But even with a little more rain expected, these temperatures, they're looking good. Above seasonal, 20 degrees, that's normal for this time of year. I mentioned earlier the blood moon turned a reddish tinge for a couple of hours. Beverly was able to capture that as it happened out in the Carmen area. Thanks for this, and keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg Weather at ctv.ca. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Good morning. A somber ceremony in Ottawa this weekend as families from across the country gathered at the Canadian Firefighters Memorial, honoring their contributions to the health, safety, and prosperity of our nation. CTV's Josh Morano on the emotional ceremony.
The sound of bagpipes filling the air as families and friends honor and remember the loved ones they lost this year.
I'm here to honor my husband, Brian Coles. He was the love of my life.
For Betty Jane Coles, a somber day here for her late husband and son, both firefighters who died within just 6 months of each other.
I was hanging in there okay, but then, yes, the tears came, and I remembered both my son and my husband. Very stressful, but it's an honor to be here.
We truly feel that Sean was a hero. We do. Sean was only 50 when he lost his life, so he loved his job. He loved what he did, so we honor that.
Here with her daughter-in-law, Elaine, they join families from across the country to mourn and remember the sacrifices made.
We lost our father-in-law, Brian, 6 months exactly to the day after Sean. So we're here to mourn with the rest of the families that are feeling the same as we are today.
The 22nd annual ceremony honors 140 firefighters who lost their lives in the line of duty or from occupational illness last year. Their names now etched on the memorial.
This is a wall that we used to think would take a long time to fill, and sadly we're getting it filled too quickly, and you know, it's presenting new challenges for us as for space to honor these heroes.
For the Coles, it's a day they say they'll hold in their hearts forever.
It's such a beautiful thing for the families to come together and pay tribute to all the hard work that they've done, and it's all thanks to the people who organized this.
Josh Morano, CTV News.
Coming up, Harvest Manitoba is celebrating 40 years. We're going to take you down a walk on history to find out exactly why it started and where it's at today. Stay with us.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
It's 9 degrees outside this morning with south winds 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling, the humidity sitting at 89%. Maybe it's starting to look a little bit brighter out there. Still, a ways till sunrise at 6:54. But even then, we're going to see some mainly cloudy conditions today. I know I was talking earlier about the moon being so beautiful and on display and unobstructed by the clouds, but maybe that was just the little space where the moon was shining. I did put a video up on my Instagram if you want to see my vantage point from the rooftop. Honestly, it's pretty cool the way it's framed between the buildings there, but we're starting to see a few more of those clouds already moving in, and in areas just to the north of us, you can see there's a little bit of shower activity that's passing on through as well. And even here in Winnipeg, we have the possibility of seeing maybe some brief showers. I'm calling it partly sunny though, even though maybe it's mainly cloudy. They're kind of the same, but partly sunny sounds a little more optimistic, and a better chance of that sunshine when it first rises rises, with the clouds then likely to increase throughout the day today. Speaking of increasing, though, temperatures not bad. 22 degrees is where we're headed today. 20 would be a normal daytime high, so warmer than it's been and warmer than it was over the weekend. And overnight only dropping to 11 degrees. Well, that keeps us well above seasonal because the normal low would be around 7. Now, the winds today and overnight will be on the lighter side. Tomorrow they'll shift out of the north, getting a little bit stronger yet, but clouds will be clearing out in the overnight hours. That'll set us up for plenty of sunshine tomorrow, and with that sunshine comes a little more heat. 24 degrees expected. It could even get warmer throughout this week, with the sun lasting through Wednesday. Then we're going to see some heavier clouds and maybe some precipitation toward the end of the week. That's okay. After a couple sunny days, we'll welcome some rainy ones, even with these above seasonal temperatures, though, and then perfectly timed out the sunshine back for the weekend with some nice temperatures lasting. Chef's kiss.
Thanks, Terry. A frightening scare for passengers on board a WestJet flight from Toronto as the aircraft experienced a hard landing while arriving at the airport in St. Martin in the Caribbean. It happened early Sunday afternoon, the airplane tipping to one side and skidding down the runway at Princess Juliana International Airport. The airline confirmed all passengers and crew were evacuated safely and no injuries were reported. Parents, students, and teachers in Montreal held a rally to voice their frustrations over school funding.
My colleague and I are having a lot of difficulties to try to get all the people, all the students that need help.
In June, the Quebec government announced $517 million in cuts to education. The province would later backtrack, promising a $540 million investment in student services. Teachers say the flip-flop left them unsure about what to expect coming into the school year. Meanwhile, parents are calling for a sustainable reinvestment in education. We're following breaking news out of Jerusalem, where at least 5 people were killed in a shooting at a bus stop. This footage shows people running for safety after the sound of gunshots rang out. Police and the military are on scene. This is in northwest Jerusalem. Authorities say the attackers drove up to the bus stop, then opened fire, killing at least 5 people. The people killed include a 50-year-old man and 3 men in their 30s. 12 people were also hurt. 7 of them are in serious condition. Police say 2 attackers were also killed. Hamas has praised the attack, saying it was carried out by 2 Palestinian gunmen, but the militant group stopped short of claiming responsibility. The ongoing trade war between Canada and the U.S. is the basis for a new suite of measures recently introduced by the federal government. They include supports for certain sectors and businesses struggling to deal with tariffs. However, some question if the new initiatives will be enough. CTV's Jeremy Chameron reports.
How are you guys? Good.
It's a move aimed at helping workers like these deal with the realities of Donald Trump's trade war.
What's going on is not a transition. It's a rupture, and its effect will be profound.
A series of targeted initiatives meant to support the sectors hardest hit, like steel and aluminum.
We find ourselves basically locked out of our historical market, where we've shipped as much as 50 to 60% of our steel to the U.S.
The Carney government hopes their new Buy Canadian policy will help, set to outline an obligation to buy Canadian through new public procurement rules.
Our producers are now suffering by loss of access to the U.S. market, and that for us, our survival goes through a Canadian market.
One of Canada's biggest steel producers applauds the move.
We'd like to work with the government to ensure that that in that process, there's no room for certain actors to exclude Canadian steel in their original designs or specifications.
New loan flexibility, supports for workers, and a $5 billion strategic response fund are all other measures being rolled out to help all affected industries, while canola producers are getting targeted support.
We think some of the measures are missing the mark a little bit in terms of what the industry needs.
The government announced more than $370 million for new biofuel production incentives, but the industry says it falls short.
We don't see anything in that particular announcement that is going to substantively increase the demand for canola as a feedstock for domestic biofuel production. So we believe that should have gone further.
Now, Canada is the world's largest exporter of canola, but new Chinese tariffs have essentially locked them out of one of their biggest markets. Saskatchewan Premier Scott Moe, along with the Prime Minister's parliamentary secretary, are in China on a trade mission to try and repair that trade relationship.
Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
Canada's fallen firefighters were honored in a ceremony in Ottawa. 140 names were added to the Canadian Fallen Firefighters Memorial Wall. These are firefighters who lost their lives in the line of duty or from occupational illness last year. The Canadian Fallen Firefighters Foundation offers support for families as they go through the grieving process. This was its 22nd annual memorial ceremony. This corn is quite unique. Once you peel back the husk, just don't do it at the store.
We, the next generation, to understand where we come from, but also the foods that come with it too.
Asian stick corn comes from Southeast Asia, but this harvest is happening in Southwest Ontario. Mei Li and Mai Mao were displaced about 50 years ago and found a new home in the Waterloo region. They now specialize in growing produce that's hard to find in Canada. And now they're coming to the end of the harvest. And here's a look at what's happening on the Norwood Bridge. Things are already picking up in this part of the city, as you can see here, but overall moving well. If you see any problems out on the streets, let us know, please. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.41. The provincial average is $1.37. In Winnipeg, the average is also $1.37. The lowest price in the city is $1.26. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by kidneycard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Let's go back now to Harvest, Manitoba, where our Ainsley McPhail is live this morning. 40 years they've been helping to feed Manitoba's hungry. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning, Rochelle. And it's hard to even comprehend the volume of food that are going through this facility. 200,000 pounds of food per week. Vince Barletta is joining us, the president and CEO. Now, it didn't start that way, Vince, did it?
Well, that's right. You know, this is the 40th anniversary of Harvest, Ainsley. And when we started in 1985, 200,000 pounds of food would have been the amount of food Harvest would have gone through in that entire first year of operation. So now we're doing that in less than a week. And so, you know, it's a lot of changes in terms of the volume, but really what stayed the same the whole time is that it takes a province to feed a province, and we rely on the support of Manitobans to do our work here at Harvest every day.
Mm-hmm. What else has evolved if we're kind of going back in time? A lot of people will remember Winnipeg Harvest.
Well, that's right. We were Winnipeg Harvest for the first 35 years. We've been Harvest Manitoba now since 2020. And obviously in that time we serve more people, but we also have new programs, warehouse training programs, employment programs here at Harvest that are helping people find jobs and improve their food security, and school nutrition programs like our Meals to Go weekend school nutrition program. I think you're going to hear more about that later this morning. So we continue to find new ways to support Manitobans and support new communities, 50 communities all across the province outside the city of Winnipeg.
Whether it's back in 1985 or in 2025, it doesn't happen without generous volunteers and donors.
Well, incredible donors, volunteers, staff. We've got staff trickling in for the morning shift right now, and we'll have some volunteers soon to follow. You know, Manitobans are so generous with us. We can't do the work that we do without the generosity of Manitobans. Here in the fall, we have garden produce and farm produce coming into our warehouse as well. So it all makes a huge difference. And any Manitoban that wants to find out more can find out more about Harvest work at our website, harvestmanitoba.ca.
Vince, always a pleasure. I hope you guys head to our website as well for more detail. A history lesson coming up at 7:27.
Sounds good. Thank you, Ainsley. Out on the rooftop now. It's still dark. The sun is going to rise soon, though.
Yes, 6:54. So we're getting closer, and it's looking a little bit brighter, but bright enough now that I can see just how many clouds I'm seeing now, mainly off to the east, because to the west, I'm still seeing that full moon on display. Maybe just like the slightest bit of cloud. Like barely. Honestly, the moon is looking fairly clear over where the moon is, and then cloudy where the sun will be rising. So don't expect to see too much of that sunshine today. There it is. See, that's what I mean. Like, it's just hazy enough that we'll say like this thinnest layer of cloud over it, but overall, the moon is looking good, and where the sun is rising, that's where the heavier clouds are this morning. 9 degrees right now, south winds, they're 18 kilometers per hour, pressure falling, humidity sitting at 89%, and the clouds are likely to still build up throughout the day today, and more than clouds, even possibly could be seeing some scattered precipitation today. Just a little bit of shower activity is possible. We're seeing it on the satellite image in areas just north of us through more of central Manitoba, and we could see that passing through parts of the south as well. Northeastern Manitoba, you might also deal with a few passing showers. I don't think any one place is going to deal with a lot of precipitation, but we will deal with some heavier clouds today. Still some nice temperatures though, above seasonal in fact. 20 degrees would be a normal daytime high, and we'll go just beyond that to 22 today. And then as the sky clears overnight with more sunshine on the way tomorrow, the temperatures just continue to warm up throughout the week. So I know last week felt cool, it felt like fall, but now it's going to be that beautiful little blast of heat that we sometimes come to expect to experience through September. Anyway, we're taking a break and we'll be back right after this.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by Mr. Lube Plus Tires. Same-day oil and tire changes.
At the early markets, futures are pointing to a lower open on Wall Street. Dow futures are down 220 points. NASDAQ futures are lower too, off by 7 points. S&P futures in the red, down 20. The Canadian dollar seeing a slight increase this morning. Overseas, the Hang Seng is on the rise, up 215 points, while Japan's Nikkei is also up 625. Good morning, it is 6:46. 2 homes caught fire early Saturday morning in Winnipeg's North End. Firefighters were called to the 400 block of Redwood Avenue just after 12 a.m. When crews arrived, they found 2 homes burning, one of them vacant and boarded up. Firefighters brought it under control about an hour later. According to the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service, one of the homes has now burned 6 times in the past 2 years, twice in 2023, 3 times in 2024, and Saturday is the 6th time. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. We're expecting an update from the RCMP today about one of Canada's most wanted criminals. Robbie Al Khalil escaped from a BC prison in 2022. At the time, he was facing murder charges linked to gang-related killings. He was convicted while on the run after his escape. Al Khalil is number 3 right now on Canada's most wanted list. Cleanup efforts are underway in Ukraine's capital after the latest in a wave of Russian strikes. Officials say it's the largest aerial attack on the city since the start of Moscow's invasion. CTV's Jeremy Charon reports.
Billowing smoke covered the skies of Kyiv this morning. More than 800 Russian drones and missiles launched at the capital and across Ukraine in the largest air assault since the start of the war. Ukrainian forces say most were shot down. Government buildings were damaged in the attack. Apartment buildings were also hit. Officials say 4 people were killed and dozens injured. I'm an ethnic Russian myself. I've never thought my people would be capable of this, said this Kyiv resident. In a statement on social media, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said such killings now, when real diplomacy could have already begun long ago, are a deliberate crime and a prolongation of the war. After meeting with Zelensky and Russian President Vladimir Putin last month, U.S. President Donald Trump set a 2-week timeline to get both leaders to meet and discuss a peace deal, which has now come and gone, with Russia escalating its attacks since.
I think the recent months are showing that this is the direction it's going. Putin feels emboldened by some of the support he's getting, feels that time is on his side.
In a social media statement today, Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister Anita Anand called the attacks egregious, adding Ukraine's fight for its territorial integrity is also a fight for freedom and the rules-based international order that has kept us all safe since the end of the Second World War.
Minister Anand says she spoke with Ukraine's Foreign Affairs Minister this morning and highlighted how Canada continues to support them through an oil price cap, sanctions, humanitarian, military, and financial aid. Jeremy Sherrill, CTV News, Ottawa.
Dozens of Winnipeggers gathered Saturday morning walking to raise funds and awareness for Parkinson's disease. Parkinson Canada's National Super Walk campaign hosted the Manitoba Walk at the Canadian Mennonite University. This year's goal was $2.9 million across the country, with Manitoba aiming for $25,000. Organizers say the money raised will be used for peer mentoring, support groups, and a new online directory of services. One of the organizers was diagnosed with the disease at the age of 40. He says the disease can be isolating, but hope is still here.
It has so much stigma behind it, and it wants to keep you at bay. And to turn that around, to get out, get active, get in the community. There's so much joy. There's so much life. This is a great community. There's an amazing community of people that just want better and want better for themselves. So there's so much life left to live.
Parkinson Canada says the disease is one of the fastest growing neurological conditions in the country and affecting younger Canadians more than ever. The Saskatchewan Roughriders took the Banjo Bowl in Winnipeg Saturday night, beating the Blue Bombers 21-13.
Pressure coming at Collaros. They got him. Ball's out. Riders have it. And Collaros is down.
Bombers quarterback Zach Collaros left the game in the third quarter due to an injury. CFL Hall of Famer Milt Stegall, the league's all-time touchdown leader, weighed in after the game saying, quote, "If I see Collaros back on the field, I'd be surprised. I think his career should be over." The team has not yet provided an official update on Collaros' condition. And here's a look now what's happening on McPhillip Street. It looks like things are starting off really well over here. No issues to tell you about at this point.
All right, it's 9 degrees outside, and we're minutes away from the sun rising at 6:54. It's 9 degrees with south winds, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 89%. There are a few extra clouds out there this morning. We're going to continue to watch them stacking up through the day. And with those clouds comes the possibility of precipitation, which we're already seeing in areas just to the north of us through much of central Manitoba and even up into parts of the north. That possibility of showers is there. But right up into parts of the north, pleasant temperatures are expected, even slightly above seasonal, pushing up into the high teens for the most part. A little bit cooler in Churchill. You can see 11 degrees is where you'll top out. And yes, there will be a few extra clouds and some scattered precipitation. Other places a little bit further to the west, though, like Thompson, Lynn Lake area, you might enjoy a little more sunshine. And then we're getting into more of that cloudy zone with the possibility of some brief passing showers. 21 degrees, though, as your average temperature through the northwest, or mid-20s here through southern Manitoba. These values are above seasonal. A normal daytime high across the south would be 20 degrees, bang on, and most of us will be above it, not just for today, throughout the week, with some better conditions ahead if you don't like the heavier clouds and the scattered showers. Well, northwestern Ontario, first of all, for you, it's going to be bright and sunny. It'll get back to that for tomorrow and even for Wednesday as well. And then another round of precipitation to close out the week, but not lingering into the weekend. You can see the sunshine is back again, and all throughout these temperatures are remaining above seasonal.
Thank you, Terry. Let's check in now on the team at 103.1 Virgin Radio. Good morning. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday to you, Rochelle Lagacé.
Thank you.
And good morning to you all watching. We have a ridiculous 7 days in front of us. We're going to work backwards, all right?
Okay.
First off, this coming Sunday, I will see you at the Terry Fox Run. Terry Fox Run this coming Sunday, Assiniboine Park. Working backwards, Sunday, let's go to this coming Saturday. Chrissy Troy.
Saturday, I will see you, Dakota Fieldhouse in St. Vital for Motion Ball. It is a day of sport, raising money for Special Olympics Manitoba.
Love Special Olympics Manitoba. Love Terry Fox Foundation. What else can we fit in? United Way of Winnipeg.
Friday, we will see you all at the United Way Plane Pole. So a lot of you will be down there. It's United Way season. So between the three of us, I think we got 9 United Way events in the next 7 days.
We do.
So we'll see you at all of those as well.
And then, okay, so we're still working backwards. Let's go with today now. And in fact, in mere minutes, we will give you a keyword on the radio, 103.1 Virgin Radio. 103.1 Virgin Radio. Then you'll go to 103.1virginradio.ca or the iHeartRadio app. You enter that keyword, everyone. Okay, we give you one of these keywords at the top of every hour, all day long, all week long. Every single day, the prize is $5,000.
Wow.
$5,000, $5K. A day, every single weekday. And a big shout out to our friends at Staff Max for helping us out. So again, at the top of every hour, we give you this keyword. You take that keyword, enter it, iHeartRadio app, stream Virgin Radio Winnipeg. That's free. 1031virginradio.ca. Enter that keyword there, either or, and you are entered to win $5,000 every single weekday. It's 5K a day. Busy. We got it, though. Dialed.
Wouldn't that be nice? I see you, Chrissy. All right, thanks, you guys. Have a good week. Well, the Liberal government introduced the Canada Strong Pass this summer in an effort to get Canadians to travel within the country. The pass came to an end on September 2nd, and now we're learning more about the impact it had on Canadian tourism. CTV's Maria Saru reports.
Late summer on PEI, and a steady stream of people trek to Brackley Beach for a spot in the sand and a quick dip.
Going in the water?
We try to get out at least once a week, if we can, and we enjoy it.
That ritual was more affordable this year with the Canada Strong Pass. It was launched by the Mark Carney government in June and ended this week. The pass offered free admission to national parks and museums for many, discounted camping, plus lower Via Rail fares.
That certainly supported the people coming to the beach, and so all good.
New numbers show a 15% increase in attendance at national museums, 10% more visits at Parks Canada Places, and at least 50,000 Canada Strong Pass bookings on Via Rail, with final results in the coming weeks. Tourism operators in PEI say it came at the right time.
We kind of had this perfect storm of reasons for Canadians to explore Canada.
Some Canadian travelers are boycotting trips south of the border. In June, the number of return trips from the U.S. was down nearly 29% year over year. Canadians choosing to explore here at home also boosted local businesses.
We've certainly heard from operators that there's been an increase.
Now the push is on for a strong fall season, and at this national park, the crowds keep coming, soaking up the last days of summer. Maria Saru, CTV News, Brackley Beach, Prince Edward Island.
All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll be back after this with your 7 o'clock headlines. Stay with us. Monday, September the 8th, you're watching CTV Morning Live. Thank you so much for being with us. Now, coming up at 8:15, we know the wildfire situation not only affected the evacuees and people living in those communities up in the north, but it also affected many different businesses that rely on summer months in order to generate their income. And so, of course, with those fires affecting them, it's really hurt them. So we're going to talk about Travel Manitoba has just launched a brand new campaign to help those businesses out. We're going to tell you about the campaign and introduce you to the business. But first, your headlines. The race is on. Which former Blue Bomber is running for Manitoba Liberal leadership? Plus, supporting the cause, how Canadians feel about Air Canada flight attendants fight for more. And a show of kindness, how a community came together to save a pumpkin harvest. Speaking of my harvest, I pulled out all the tomatoes from my garden. Some, of course, weren't ripe enough, but they'll just sit on my counter for a little bit. And
yeah, you had a busy weekend. Got your tomatoes out and made a zucchini cake.
Made a chocolate zucchini cake. Cleaned my windows inside the house. I was busy, but it was good. It was
good for you. That feels good, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. It was a good weekend to be productive, especially when we kicked things off and it was a little bit cool. By Sunday, I think a lot of people wanted to be spending it outdoors. And this week, oof. Yeah, it's an outdoor week ahead of us, too, although that doesn't mean that there won't be moments where you're headed back indoors, like the possibility of showers today. It's still looking a little bit dark. The sun has only just started to rise and probably hasn't even made its way above the buildings in the downtown area yet. 9 degrees, south winds 18 clicks, the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 89%. Yeah, it's only been up for about 7 minutes time, the sun I'm talking about. And while the sun is rising, the clouds are building up and even possibly could be seeing some scattered showers throughout. You can see them right now through central Manitoba. It doesn't read on the satellite image, but you can bet there's a little bit of that activity in the northeast as well. And we too have that chance of seeing not just the building clouds, but the possibility of that precipitation. Northwestern Manitoba, you might actually be in for the clearest day, and along that western border, you'll eventually see things clearing out nicely. We won't really see the clearing until the overnight hours, but that will set us up for the sunshine for tomorrow and Wednesday. Very clear, very bright, and even warmer than today. But even today, with the lack of sunshine, or I shouldn't say lack of sunshine, slightly heavier clouds, maybe a better way to put it. Even with the slightly heavier clouds, we still will likely reach above seasonal 20 degrees normal daytime highs, and instead we're pushing up into those low to mid 20s. A couple of sunny days after today, but then rain by the end of the week. However, perfectly timed out for the weekend. We're going to see that sunshine back again. And our art today is done by Taylor, 9 years old. How talented are you, Taylor? Thank you for sharing this with us. And we would love to see what you're working on. Draw, color, paint, sculpt, you name it, whatever your medium may be. Take a picture of your art and email us to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thank you, Terry. A former Blue Bomber is entering the race to lead the Manitoba Liberal Party.
It's time to get together. It's time to resolve issues, and it's time to get things done.
Willard Reeves announced his bid for the Manitoba Liberal leadership on Sunday, speaking in front of the legislature. He was named deputy leader of the party in November 2023, but stepped down from the role in June 2024. Reeves says it's time for a change.
We need to change the way we do our politics. We need to stop opposing everything that someone brings up and work together to get a solution. We have lots of problems here. Lots of problems. And the only way we can do it is by being together.
Reeves ran in the 2022 Fort White by-election but lost to Abhi Khan, now leader of the Progressive Conservatives. He ran again in the 2023 general election and was defeated a second time. Air Canada flight attendants overwhelmingly rejected a tentative offer in a vote that ended Saturday. And for now, at least, travelers have their back. CTV's Tyler Barreau reports.
Air Canada flight attendants are at the bargaining table, but still far apart on a deal. Travelers at Calgary's airport have no problem with them fighting for more.
The airlines have been taking their fair chunk out of all of us for a long time, so I think it's okay for these guys to keep fighting.
They're asking for the bare minimum, and I think that they deserve what they're asking for.
The tentative deal voted down raised wages for workers and established a pay structure for time worked when aircrafts are on the ground. It included a 12% salary increase this year for most junior flight attendants and an 8% bump for more senior members, followed by smaller raises in subsequent years. Over 90% of union members voted it down.
I can't remember the last time that 99% of the members overturned or voted down the deal negotiated by their own leadership. So it suggests that they're very, very upset.
The deal that was turned down ended a strike at the airline last month. The union representing the airline did blame the federal government for allegedly giving Air Canada leverage in negotiations. The airline says the wage portion will now be referred to mediation as previously agreed to by both sides.
There's a gap between what the flight attendants are looking for and what Air Canada is offering. So hopefully this process will close it.
Since Air Canada and CUPE, the union representing the flight attendants, agreed to mediation, there will be no strike or lockout, and flights will continue to operate. Tyler Barrow, CTV News, Calgary.
No one was hurt after a flight from Toronto to St. Martin experienced a hard landing, forcing passengers to evacuate the plane using the aircraft's emergency slides. The WestJet flight landed hard Sunday afternoon. Emergency services responded immediately and deployed foam as a precaution. All passengers made it off the aircraft safely, but the incident did cause delays for people who were supposed to board that plane for a flight back to Toronto. A number of passengers were left waiting at the airport for hours before being told the flight was canceled. WestJet said it is waiting for confirmation of the exact nature of the incident. An almost 4-year manhunt in New Zealand has ended in a shootout, and 3 children have been recovered safely.
The scene where the children were located will be guarded overnight, and a full forensic examination will form part of our investigative work in the days to come.
Tom Phillips was shot and killed early this morning. He had been on the run since 2021 after taking his 3 children from their family home and fleeing into the wilderness. This footage, released by New Zealand police, shows Phillips and one of his children allegedly trying to break into a store. One child was with Phillips when he was fatally shot by police. That child was taken into custody. According to the authorities, that child helped officers locate the other 2 siblings. Their mother says she's saddened by the events, but also deeply relieved her children's ordeal has come to an end. We're following breaking news out of Jerusalem, where at least 5 people were killed in a shooting at a bus stop. This is footage that shows people running for safety after the sound of gunshots rang out. Police and the military are on scene. This is in northwest Jerusalem. Authorities say the attackers drove up to the bus stop, then opened fire, killing at least 5 people. The people killed include a 50-year-old man and 3 men in their 30s. 12 people were also hurt. 7 of them are in serious condition. Police say 2 attackers were also killed. Hamas has praised the attack, saying it was carried out by 2 Palestinian gunmen, but the militant group stopped short of claiming responsibility. The Ovarian Cancer Canada's Walk of Hope took place at Kildonan Park on Sunday. More than 400 participants joined the walk, and over $80,000 were brought into Manitoba. This year's Manitoba Health Minister joined the event and announced a $1 million investment from the provincial government to support research right here at home. Cancer Care Manitoba says this will help to position the province towards leadership in women's health.
What that means is that now what we'll put together is an independent panel that will review grant applications from the research in the province to try to get those funds to be spent on the most impactful research for women in the province of Manitoba. It shows that the efforts that people have putting forward are really making an impact here within the province.
Organizers hope the funding will lead to better testing, treatment, and awareness, since the symptoms are often hard to detect. An Interlake pumpkin farmer says she's overwhelmed by the kindness of strangers after a social media post assembled a community-wide effort to save her crops. Melody Schwabe runs Schwabe Pumpkins in the RM of St. Andrews. After a damaging frost Friday morning, she posted an emotional video asking for help. Within hours, many people who she'd never met showed up to help harvest pumpkins before another frost hit. Some brought food and drinks. Others came with their kids, ready to work. Schwabe says she's still trying to find the words to express her gratitude.
I'm just so grateful for everybody, and literally I'm blown away by the people that showed up. Like, you know, the sweetest people. Yeah, humans are pretty wonderful.
Schwabe says the pumpkins were still premature, but the frost forced an early harvest. She hopes to find ways to give back to the community that rallied around her. It's kind of cool. All right, taking a look at what's happening now along the Provincial Bridge. It looks like things are moving well over here. No issues to tell you about. If you see any problems out on your drive, please let us know. Let's go back now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Harvest Manitoba this morning. 40 years of history in this community, and still going strong and still so essential, helping to feed so many. Thank you, Ainsley, for joining us.
Rochelle, thank you. And you know who else we want to thank? The volunteers of the last year that have put in over 66,000 hours. Coming up at 7:27, we're chatting with Siri, David Northcott's daughter. David, back over 40 years ago, started this thing. 40 years is the milestone. My apologies. He's done this, though, for over 30 years. And so we're going to be learning about that history, of course, starting as Winnipeg Harvest, now to Harvest Manitoba, expanding that reach. The food bank here seeing over 50,000 participants. Broadly, though, over 100,000 people served. Meals to Go program. They also serve on remote Indigenous communities as well. So the base of it, the history of it, and so much more is chatted about throughout our morning show.
Thank you. Can't wait to find out more about David. All right. Thanks, Ainsley. Out on the rooftop now, the sun is up, but you could barely tell.
Well, that's just it. So it's up. Yes, you're right about that. And honestly, the sky off to the east, the clouds still have like this beautiful kind of paintbrush of like pinkish hues to them. But as I look off to the west, where I was talking about the moon earlier on this morning, I can no longer see the moon, and I don't know if the positioning of it has changed, that it's now behind the hydro building, or the fact that the clouds have built up. Because if they built up that much, honestly, there is no moon. I can't see it anyway. If you are curious to see that moon, what I saw earlier this morning, if you're following me on Instagram, I have posted a video on my stories of how it looked this morning, and honestly, so beautiful, bright and full. Anyway, now I'm not seeing the moon. We'll see a little bit of sunshine today, but the heavier clouds are already beginning to build up. The temperature itself has dropped again, but we're still above seasonal, so 7 degrees would be a normal low temperature. We're now sitting at 8. We'll likely now start to see it rising through the day now that the sun is up, and we'll begin to throw a little bit of warmth our way. And speaking of warmth, it's certainly going to be warmer than anything we experienced last week with those below seasonal temperatures. No, those are now in the past. All throughout this week, temperatures remaining seasonal or even above, headed up to a high of 22 today. Maybe not a massive amount of sunshine, as we'll likely see the clouds building and could even see some scattered precipitation for today. But 22 is where we're headed with the temps when 20 degrees is normal. And then we will see clearing overnight, plenty of sunshine for the next couple of days, and the temperatures only get warmer throughout the rest of this week.
Thank you, Terry. At CTV Morning Live, we're all about celebrating your amazing pets, whether they're furry, feathered, or scaly. Your Pet of the Week submissions are amazing. We want more. Whether they're dogs, cats, birds, or any other pet pals, send them our way. Drop your pet photos and a fun little story about them to petoftheweek@ctv.ca. And then catch us every Thursday between 6 and 9 to find out if your pet is our Pet of the Week on CTV Morning Live. And we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back after this with more news and some entertainment as well. Stay with us. Good morning. It is 7:16. There is some confusion and concern over Canada's climate goals this morning after Prime Minister Mark Carney announced another pause to an environmental policy.
I think all Canadians should be concerned that this government is backtracking on climate action at a time when wildfires are still burning across this country.
Since becoming Prime Minister, Mark Carney has cancelled the consumer carbon tax and just last week paused Canada's electric vehicle mandate. Prime Minister Carney has said his government isn't stepping back from climate action, but when pressed, Industry Minister Mélanie Joly would only clearly commit to Canada's 2050 net zero targets. In a statement, the Environment Minister's office says Canada will provide an update on its emissions reductions plan as we strive towards our 2030 and 2035 targets. The U.S. President receiving a mixed reception Sunday night in his hometown. A chorus of boos and cheers greeted Donald Trump Sunday as he made an appearance at the U.S. Open. Trump was flanked by several top administration officials as he attended the tennis tournament's final match. South Korea's foreign minister will leave for the U.S. today to bring back hundreds of workers arrested in an immigration raid. About 300 South Koreans were among the 475 people arrested during last week's raid at a Hyundai plant in Georgia. Some of the workers entered the U.S. illegally. Others had overstayed their visas. The workers will be released and sent home soon. South Korea is now looking to streamline its visa process with the U.S. It also wants the arrested workers to be re-allowed to enter the U.S. Parents, students, and teachers in Montreal held a rally to voice their frustrations over school funding.
My colleague and I are having a lot of difficulties to try to get all the people, all the students that need help.
In June, the Quebec government announced $570 million in cuts to education. The province would later backtrack, promising a $540 million investment in student services. Teachers say the flip-flop left them unsure about what to expect coming into the school year. Meanwhile, parents are calling for a sustainable reinvestment in education. More than 25,000 people showed up in Assiniboine Park on Sunday with a teddy bear. The 36th annual Teddy Bears Picnic gathered lots of teddy bears ready to receive medical care. Organizers say it all started by a group of volunteers to bring the children's healthcare community together. This year, the Dr. Good Bear Clinic brought parents and children in line to have their teddy bears get the medical help they need. X-rays and MRI machines were also ready for teddy bear imaging. Organizers say the event is all about demystifying healthcare.
You know, over 150,000 kids every single year come to the Children's Hospital for their health needs. And it's really important for our health community to create this foundation where those kids at moments of more fun and engaging can interact with those healthcare heroes.
The picnic also offered entertainments on stage, face painting, crafts, and food trucks. Now this guy is legendary. Hikers climbing Huron Peak in Colorado recently had a chance to cool off thanks to a cool guy who brought ice cream up the mountain. He had it on dry ice, so it stayed frozen. It was easy to tell who the ice cream guy was since he was dressed literally as an ice cream guy, wearing an ice cream cone costume. And here's a look now at what's happening in traffic along the St. James Bridge. It looks like things are picking up over here, but overall moving quite well. If you have any traffic tips to share with us, go to our X page, please.
Traffic is brought to you by Curtis Carpets, Manitoba's flooring experts.
Time now for some entertainment news. Family and close friends will hold a private funeral today for Giorgio Armani. Armani will be laid to rest next to other members of his family in the village where he was born. Over the weekend, members of the public paid their respects as Armani's casket laid at his company's headquarters in Milan. Armani stores in Italy will be closed today. Giorgio Armani died last week at age 91. The latest film in the top grossing horror franchise of all time opened this weekend.
This thing in your house is a demon.
The Conjuring Last Rites opened on top with $83 million US across North America, the best debut ever for the massively popular horror franchise. Special screenings of the original Broadway production of Hamilton brought in $10 million for second place, while Weapons held onto its spot on the podium with another $5.4 million in ticket sales. It was a big night for music at the MTV Video Music Awards, with Lady Gaga taking home Artist of the Year.
Thank you, Little Monsters, my fans, for always supporting me and always supporting the monster in me.
Other notable moments from the night: Ricky Martin performed and was awarded the first MTV Latin Icon Award. Ariana Grande won for Best Pop and Video of the Year. Alex Warren performed Ordinary and was named Best New Artist. Plus, there was a tribute to the late Ozzy Osbourne. And Mariah Carey performed a medley of her hits before accepting the MTV Video Vanguard Award.
All right, through the Bath Fitter Live, I now, Bath Fitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. And we will see those clouds continuously increasing through the day today. So while we had to wait as long as we did to even see the sun rising, that only happened a few minutes ago at 6:54. Now we're already starting to see some heavier clouds out there, and we'll continue to see those stacking up as the day goes on. Also, these temperatures, they just keep dropping off, although 8 degrees where we're sitting right now is still above a seasonal low of 7. Yes, 7 degrees. That would be normal for this time of year. Morden Winkler, that's where you're sitting right now. Just below that, we've got Brandon coming in at 6 degrees and Sprague at 5, along with Portage La Prairie. But everybody else is at least a degree or a few degrees above seasonal. We've got Melita, Gimli, Kenora, and Dauphin already in double digits this morning. Some double digits through parts of northern Manitoba, like in the Flin Flon area, 12 degrees. Island Lake coming in at 10. Or those mid to high single digits. Not a bad start to the morning overall, but it is on the cloudier side, and we'll continue to see those clouds increasing. A little bit of shower activity also tucked in there with those clouds, so the possibility is there that we too could see some brief passing showers. 9 degrees expected as we're sending kids off to school into the 8 o'clock hour. 21 by the time they're coming home again. That's not even our hottest temperature. 22 degrees is probably where we'll top out just after kids are coming home from school. That's above seasonal. 20, that is a normal daytime high. And it's not just today, all week long with increasing amounts of sunshine. So the sky clears overnight. Plenty of sunshine for the next couple of days. Showers to end the week, but then perfectly timed out for the weekend. We're going to see that sunshine back again. And a shot of that blood moon. So with the moon eclipse last night, there was a period of time where it looked reddish hue, and in the Carmen area, Beverly managed to capture that very moment. So thank you for this. Keep the pictures coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
Beautiful. Thank you, Terry. A scary attraction will return early next month, and we want you to join in on the fun. Heebie-Jeebies features over 1 kilometer of mazes, photo ops, carnival games, and more than 140 characters and 150 animatronic scares. We're giving away tickets for a special night on Friday, October 3rd for you and 3 friends or family members, where they can join our friends from Virgin 1031. To enter the contest page on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, enter your details and don't forget the keyword boo. Good luck. Many businesses use social media to help build their brand, but there is growing concern among Instagram users about accounts being wrongly suspended. CTV's Alison Bamford spoke with a pair of business owners who lost access and are pointing the finger at artificial intelligence.
Log in.
Chase Flair is working out with a client, sessions he'd typically post on his Instagram account to promote his gym.
It's literally the center, the nucleus of the marketing for those companies.
That is until his profile went black.
I thought that maybe it was a glitch.
Flair received this email from Meta last week informing him his account had been suspended due to activity that does not follow community standards on abuse.
It's a big ball of shock. Obviously, if anyone's ever followed my Instagram page, they know none of my content has anything to do with abuse of anything.
This is a global problem and there really is no solution.
Tech experts say Meta's AI content monitoring system is likely to blame for incorrectly flagging and suspending accounts.
AI content moderation is not perfect and there are false positives that come out, unfortunately, quite frequently.
Saskatoon photographer Paige Bell lost her business Instagram account in June, along with the client traffic. Some 320,000 monthly page views and 50% of the hits to her website, all collateral damage.
And I rely on it for my income and my clientele and even the small things like messaging clients and helping them pick their photo location.
Meta gives users 180 days to appeal a suspension, a process that didn't work for Flair or Bell. Now they're left to rebuild a following that this time they hope stays.
That is definitely a big fear, is losing it all over again.
Mass suspensions have swept through Instagram and Facebook over the last few months. CTV News reached out to Meta for comment but did not hear back. However, in June, the company reportedly said it was working to fix a technical error. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
Coming up, we're live at Harvest in Manitoba, but we're going to take you back 40 years ago when it started as Winnipeg Harvest. Stay with us. Today it's known as Harvest Manitoba, but 40 years ago when it began, it was Winnipeg Harvest. Good morning, Ainsley. That's where you are this morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people over the last 5 years have still been kind of trying to get introduced into that. 1985 is when it all began. Siri McCalder joins us to tell us all about it. Now, your dad, David, is one of the co-founders. It was only supposed to be temporary, though, I'm right?
That's right. We had Lee come to my dad for a quick initiative. She'd learned about this in New York, and they had realized that the city has surplus food and hungry people. So let's blend those two together as the governments are trying to figure out initiatives for poverty eradication. And unfortunately, we're still here today.
Truly. And he was really at the helm for over 30 years as well. Tell us about that time.
Well, those early years, we were on St. Joseph Street in St. Boniface. There was maybe 4 staff. There was a real grassroots a new initiative, and everyone was really excited about it, but it was uncertain. They thought it was going to be closed. He thought he was going to be out of a job every month as no funding came in, and Lee magically every month ended up getting some big donors to come in and keep them alive for another week. It was uncertain, but it was really exciting. It gave us a lens through which we saw the world as kids. We were there a lot, and it was really a magical time to see it start.
And as Rochelle has just mentioned in the introduction, it being Winnipeg Harvest, now Harvest Manitoba, what does it mean to you to see how much of it's evolved?
It means a lot. We're really proud that the grassroots soul of the place has stayed the same from the beginning. I'm proud from the top, from Vince to someone who's coming in the doors for the first time. There's this community feel where people really want to make a change and help each other. And I think that makes it really important to keep the doors open, but also keep giving and making it a big change in the community. So,
Siri, thank you so much. Our next segment, we're talking about volunteers. Some of them you see, but some of them you hear.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. And let's go to Terry now. We had such a beautiful weekend. The weather was pretty phenomenal.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, especially as we were wrapping up the weekend. We did move on into the weekend a little bit cool, even drizzly at times, but then those temperatures started to rise by Sunday, and they'll continue to warm up now throughout the rest of this week. Look at the sun a little bit higher up in the sky. You can see it there in the top left corner of your screen. Obstructed by the clouds, don't get me wrong, but at least we can see it now. It's 8 degrees, south winds 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 90%. Those heavier clouds will continue to stick around throughout the day today, so it won't be a day of abundant sunshine, but we will still get these above seasonal temperatures all throughout the week, as I mentioned, and increasing amounts of sunshine after today. But for today, heavier clouds, maybe even some scattered precipitation. We can see it on the satellite image, and so that possibility is there of a brief passing shower or two. 22 degrees, though. I like those temperatures. I think a lot of people will. Perfectly pleasant, maybe even warming up throughout the week. South winds, they're expected to remain on the lighter side at about 15 clicks, 10K winds overnight as they shift to the southeast. Partly cloudy, so the clouds begin to disappear in the overnight hours. 11 degrees is where we'll drop off to. That keeps us above seasonal. A normal low would be 7, and a normal daytime high, I mentioned, 20. But tomorrow, with all that sunshine, 24 degrees is expected. And Wednesday, too, another day of mainly sunny conditions. It won't last all week long. Heavier clouds will be back with another round of rain Thursday through Friday. Temperatures, though, staying in the mid-20s and lasting there when the sunshine returns for the weekend.
Thank you, Terry. Alberta is expected to make an announcement on changes to its book ban today. And while people wait, books are flying off the shelf.
They're looking for more LGBTQ titles. There's genderqueer, there's flamer, still classics, Brave New World, Great Gatsby. It's not going to stop people from buying books. There's more incentive to read the banned books.
The province initially said it would announce new details Friday afternoon, but the update was rescheduled for later today. Premier Danielle Smith has said the order would be changed to target books that contain sexual images. The government's initial order covered books with images, audio, and written passages with sexually explicit content. It also directed schools to remove books with sexually explicit content for students in all grades by the end of September. But everything has been put on hold until further notice. Health officials in Saskatchewan say the compound where the self-proclaimed Queen of Canada and her followers had been living is a threat to public safety. Officials say parts of a former school that was serving as a compound have been declared unfit for human habitation. The building is being used as a multi-purpose residence and is not connected to the municipal sewer system. Police arrested the group's leader, Romania Diduolo, property owner Ricky Mans, and 14 others last week after obtaining a search warrant to enter the site. Everyone was released, but Diduolo and Mans were rearrested on Thursday after being accused of breaching a condition to not contact one another. The U.S. may issue refunds for tariffs if its Supreme Court upholds a ruling that found the tariffs to be illegal.
So we would have to give a refund on about half the tariffs, which would be terrible for the Treasury.
And you're prepared to give those refunds?
Well, I mean, there's no be prepared. If the court says it, we'd have to do it.
The Trump administration has asked for a quick ruling on the legality of the reciprocal and fentanyl-related tariffs. If the Supreme Court upholds the ruling and half the tariffs are refunded, that means U.S. businesses that paid them will get some money back, even though they have already passed those costs on to consumers. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent also said there are other ways to impose tariffs, even if they lose the legal battle. But he said he's confident the Supreme Court will rule in the administration's favor. France is at risk of losing its third prime minister in 12 months. François Bayrou is facing a parliamentary confidence vote today, meaning MPs could bring down the government for the second time in less than a year. The 74-year-old was appointed by President Emmanuel Macron just under 9 months ago. He triggered today's vote of confidence last month after tabling a budget that called for roughly $70 billion in spending cuts, a freeze on social benefits, and a plan to scrap 2 public holidays. Dozens of Winnipeggers gathered Saturday morning walking to raise funds and awareness for Parkinson's disease. Parkinson Canada's National Super Walk campaign hosted the Manitoba Walk at the Canadian Mennonite University. This year's goal was $2.9 million across the country, with Manitoba aiming for $25,000. Organizers say the money raised will be used for peer mentoring, support groups, and a new online directory of services. One of the organizers was diagnosed with the disease at the age of 40. He says the disease can be isolating, but hope is still here.
It has so much stigma behind it, and it wants to keep you at bay. And to turn that around, to get out, get active, get in the community. There's so much joy, there's so much life. This is a great community. It's an amazing community of people that are just want better for themselves. So there's so much life left to live.
Parkinson Canada says the disease is one of the fastest growing neurological conditions in the country and affecting younger Canadians more than ever. Here's a look at what's happening now on Donald Street. Things are picking up, moving well, no issues to tell you about at this point. And let's look now at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.41. The provincial average is $1.37. In Winnipeg, the average is also $1.37. The lowest price in the city is $1.26. All this information is on gasbuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by kidneycard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Right now, it's 8 degrees, looking real good to start off this Monday morning. We'll be back after this with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Of some scattered showers. You can see the green showing up on the satellite image right now. That possibility of showers really goes through all of central, southern Manitoba, but even parts of the north could see some brief passing precipitation. I don't think any one place is going to see a massive amount of rain, but just some scattered showers could be your truth at times. 11 degrees in Churchill, otherwise up into those high teens. Temperature-wise, pretty much everybody will be above seasonal. Thompson will see a little more sunshine, as will the Lynn Lake area, but anybody else will likely have those heavier clouds, yes. And then the chance of precipitation is only like a 30% chance, so it's not a sure bet, but the possibility is certainly there. And if you do see it, like I said, it will probably be brief. Mid-20s all through southern Manitoba, central Manitoba as well. 20 degrees would be a normal daytime high, so it will be an above seasonal day, warmer than it was over the weekend. And throughout the rest of this week, it actually continues to warm up, and it even clears out. Now, I mean, northwestern Ontario will have clear conditions for today, but the rest of us in Manitoba will have to wait until tonight before it clears. Or along the western border, you might see that clearing later this afternoon. As it does clear, then we've got sunny conditions for the next couple of days, a little soggy for the end of the week, but still mild with these mid-20s, and then back to the weekend, we're going to be seeing that sunshine all over again.
Thanks, Terry. And let's go now to Ainsley McPhail, who's live at Harvest, Manitoba this morning. 40 years they've been doing some incredible work in this community. It would not be possible without the volunteers. Good morning.
Good morning, Rochelle. Our next guest is in charge of lifting all of the heaviest boxes and operating the forklifts. Am I right, Jeannie Darberly?
That's right.
What do you do here?
I work in the development department. I work for the people who are in charge of donor relations, and I get to call all of our recent donors and thank them for their donations, and they're always absolutely astonished because they think I'm calling to ask for more money. And I usually tease them a little bit about that if I think I can get away with it. And we have a laugh and talk a little bit about what I like to ask them what prompted them to donate to Harvest. And they have stories. Some of them are very moving. Some of them, their mothers or their fathers may have had to use a food bank when they were younger. And the universal refrain is, I have enough. And I like to be able to help out people who do not have enough. And that's why I support Harvest. So It's wonderful. It's a great use of my innate ability to yak a lot, because I do that, and I really have fun doing it, and I love working in that office, and I just love the people here and the whole philosophy. And when you get to be my age, it can be very hard to feel relevant. You know, there's not, I mean, my family loves me, but they don't need me to do anything for them. And I was the kind of person who always liked to do things for other people. And so I was sitting at home with my cat and not having anybody to do anything for except him. And he's very demanding, but it doesn't take up all my time. He's pretty annoyed that I left him alone so early this morning. He didn't like that very much. But I came to a donor appreciation night here. And I think it was the first one of this specific type. And I was so moved by the speeches, which were brief, but very much to the point, and some very moving videos that showed different programs in action. And I just decided, I wasn't then, but I decided that I wanted to be. So we're
out of time.
Oh.
I'm sorry, we're out of time. Okay, she'll be doing more heavy lifting later.
Okay, thank you, Ainsley. Canada's fallen firefighters were honored in a ceremony in Ottawa. 140 names were added to the Canadian Fallen Firefighters Memorial Wall. These are firefighters who lost their lives in the line of duty or from occupational illness last year. The Canadian Fallen Firefighters Foundation offers support for families as they go through the grieving process. This was its 22nd annual memorial ceremony. Parents, students, and teachers in Montreal held a rally to voice their frustrations over school funding.
My colleague and I are having a lot of difficulties to try to get all the people, all the students that need help.
In June, the Quebec government announced $570 million in cuts to education. The province would later backtrack, promising a $540 million investment in student services. Teachers say the flip-flop left them unsure about what to expect coming into the school year. Meanwhile, parents are calling for a sustainable reinvestment in education. Now, this corn is quite unique. Once you peel back the husk, just don't do it at the store.
We, the next generation, to understand where we come from, but also the foods that come with it too.
Asian stick corn comes from Southeast Asia, but this harvest is happening in Southwest Ontario. Mei Li and Mai Mao were displaced about 50 years ago and found a new home in the Waterloo region. They now specialize in growing produce that's hard to find in Canada, and now they're coming to the end of the harvest. The Baseball World Series won't begin for more than a month, but the Cliff Diving World Series is on. Multiple divers jumped off this historic bridge in Bosnia and Herzegovina as part of the series opening. The full event wrapped up on Saturday.
How's it going? Jermaine Franklin with you inside the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Sunday. For that, we'll head to Lambeau Field for this one. Lions, Packers with 1 minute left in the game. Check out Isaac Tesla. The rookie tight end makes a spectacular one-handed catch and gets both feet down. The third-round pick definitely had one of the greatest first career NFL touchdowns of all time. Unfortunately, it wasn't a losing effort, but Tesla still earns your must-see moment from Sunday. And tonight on TSN, week 1 of the NFL season wraps up with Monday Night Football as the Vikings take on the Bears. It all starts at 6:30 p.m. Central on TSN 1, 3, 4, and 5. That's all from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
TSN Must-See Moments brought to you by Super Blinds and Draperies, your Hunter Douglas shade provider for over 40 years. Weather brought to you by Blinds Are Beautiful at 900 Lorimer Boulevard, featuring Hunter Douglas shades.
All right, it is on the cloudier side out here. I was going to say, there's moments of sunshine. It's kind of a whitewashed bit of clouds, so really there's not a lot of sunshine out here this morning. But it doesn't mean we won't get to enjoy the warmth of it. Certainly better than it was last week, and throughout this week above seasonal temperatures are expected. In fact, even this morning we're at 8 degrees. 7 would be a seasonal low. We haven't dipped that low, and we're likely to start to see it rising now throughout the rest of the day. The winds, they're out of the south, 21 kilometers per hour right now. Pressure falling, humidity sitting at 90%. Now, with these heavier clouds that we're seeing, there is the possibility of some light and scattered precipitation. Nearly everybody throughout the province has about a 30% chance of some passing showers, not amounting to too much or lasting very long, but that possibility is there. It will, though, continue to clear throughout the day for the western side of the province, more so overnight here in the southeast, but that'll set us up for a lot more sunshine for tomorrow. And for Wednesday, the sun will continue. And I mentioned these above seasonal temperatures. Well, 22 degrees on tap for us today, but it continues to warm up throughout the rest of the week.
Thank you, Terry. Hot air balloons dotted the sky over New Brunswick this weekend. They flew as part of an annual festival, which has been running for nearly 40 years. CTV's Sarah Plowman reports.
In September, the skies above Sussex shine, dotted with drops of color, big, bright balloons. Chasing them from the ground is part of the fun, but this year Amanda Burke got to fly.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was really fun. It was very enjoyable.
From above, the valley put on a show, just like the festival has for 39 years. The joy, this tradition is shared by generations. Brock Jorgensen's mom brought him here. Now he brings his daughter.
A big part of town and living in town is getting in your vehicle, like in the wee hours of the morning with your parents and following all the balloons out to the countryside.
Now a cinematographer, he loves to showcase and share what's special about his hometown.
What's really awesome about it is when you see them up in the sky like as one unit, it's just beautiful. And it's really cool to watch because they bring in like different shapes every year.
Pilot Bill Whalen has flown here since the late 80s, even though he insists he's afraid of heights.
There's many of us that are a little nervous of heights, and I've been up 13,000+ feet.
As a trainer, he teaches the next generation, like Delia Dory, who's about to officially gain her wings.
Last July, I went one flight, and I was so mesmerized, I came down and was like, I'm doing it.
Balloons launch in the morning and at night, but the wind and weather doesn't always cooperate. About half the flights have been grounded so far.
I mean, that's the one thing we can't control no matter how many hours we put into it, unfortunately.
And that makes moments like these even more rare. And for those taking it in, all that more special. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Sussex, New Brunswick.
It's been a year since the Ontario government decided to allow convenience stores across that province to sell alcohol. As CTV's Dylan Dyson tells us, many corner stores say they have seen a boost to their bottom line.
After 16 years in business at the Iris Food Market, owner Michael Kidana is seeing more foot traffic after putting alcohol on his shelves.
Our community is a little bit like, low income and so they don't spend that much money, but now I see the difference. After we have the beer, I see new customers for a beer, so they buy another chips like a drink and a chocolate bar. So I see a little bit grow the business.
It's exactly 1 year since the Ford government gave the green light for convenience stores to sell beer, wine, and ready-to-drink beverages.
Today, more than 5,300 stores across Ontario are licensed.
We knew it was going to be good for our business, and frankly, it saved some stores from closing.
The Convenience Industry Council of Canada says the change has boosted sales for corner stores stocking booze.
We're looking at about 12% increase, which is driven by increased foot traffic, sort of overall on average. And that upticks to about 33% when we look at long weekends like Canada Day, Victoria Day, Labor Day.
I get most of my stuff, like a lot of grocery bits here, and a lot of scratch tickets, Proline tickets, or whatever. And then I end up getting a couple beers once in a while.
So people, instead of going somewhere else, they come here. So I try to it's good price for them and it's good for me. I see 10%, 20% grow.
Consumers split between greater convenience and more selection.
I usually go to the LCBO, but there's many times when I'm going to a get together or something, and I'll head over there and grab some beer. And sometimes it's so convenient.
It probably just doesn't cross my mind to come up here. I have things that I buy here, but it doesn't cross my mind to come here. It's probably convenience to go to the LCBO.
Dylan Dyson, CTV News.
It's time for Let's Celebrate. Let's See Who's having a celebration today. Happy 65th birthday to Perry. Enjoy your day with love from your family. If someone you care about is having a birthday, anniversary, retirement, or graduation, let's celebrate. To submit your celebration, visit our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, and fill out the form at least 2 days in advance. It'll also enter you into our monthly contest for a chance to win a $100 gift certificate to Party Stuff.
Let's Celebrate, brought to you by Party Stuff, 3 Winnipeg locations and at partystuff.ca.
It's 8 o'clock on Monday morning. Thank you so much for staying with us here on CTV Morning Live. At 8:45, we're going to tell you about the Canadian Women's Club of Winnipeg. They've been around for 118 years, which is just phenomenal. We're going to tell you what the club is all about, how it started and why it started, and introduce you to some of the members of today. But first, your headlines. Former Blue Bomber makes political play. Willard Reeves enters the race for Manitoba Liberal leadership. Plus, Trump threatens new sanctions on Russia. Will his latest warning lead to action after deadly Ukraine strikes? And happy feet in Chile. 9 penguins waddle their way from rescue to freedom. Bringing it to Terry now. So sweet when you see the little waddle. What a beautiful day yesterday. We're going to get some heat this week, too.
Yeah, you're right about that. I mean, I think last week was a bit of a shock to a lot of folks when it was like September rolled around and it was like, whew, this is cold. And it was well below what you would expect for this time of year. Well, now this week, not shockingly above seasonal, but a little bit warmer than you would expect. And I don't think people will be too mad about it. 8 degrees with winds out of the south, 21 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 90%. We do have a few extra clouds hanging around right now. And even looking at the satellite image, you can see a little bit of scattered precipitation through central Manitoba, areas just north of us, but even here through the south, that possibility of precipitation is there. Or in parts of northern Manitoba, you too may see some brief passing showers. Yes, heavier clouds pretty much across the entire province, but even those aren't likely to last all day long. It'll clear out a little more so through the northwest and west central Manitoba. There you can see that a little bit of shower activity could roll through for us into the evening time. And then as we move into the overnight hours, the clouds begin to clear. Well, that'll set us up for plenty of sunshine for tomorrow, lasting into Wednesday as well. So with the sun will come increasing warmth, but even today with the clouds, above seasonal temperatures are expected. So 20 degrees would be a normal daytime high, and we'll go up to about 22 for this afternoon. And then 24, 26. Once we get up into those mid-20s, we're going to stay there, even though we could see some showers by the end of the week, and it'll only last for a couple of days, the sunshine back for the weekend. And our art today is thanks to Taylor, 9 years old. Taylor, what an incredible job you've done with this painting, and we'd love to see whatever it is you may be working on. So draw, color, paint, sculpt, you name it. Take a picture of your art and email us to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
Thank you, Terry. A former Blue Bomber is entering the race to lead the Manitoba Liberal Party.
It's time to get together, it's time to resolve issues, and it's time to get things done.
Willard Reeves announced his bid for the Manitoba Liberal leadership on Sunday, speaking in front of the legislature. He was named deputy leader of the party in November 2023, but stepped down from the role in June 2024. Reeves says it's time for a change.
We need to change the way we do our politics. We need to stop opposing everything that someone brings up and work together to get a solution. We have lots of problems here, lots of problems. And the only way we can do it is by being together.
Reeves ran in the 2022 Fort White by-election, but lost to Abhi Khan, now leader of the Progressive Conservatives. He ran again in the 2023 general election and lost a second time. We have an update on the deadly shooting in Jerusalem. Israel's foreign minister now says 6 people have died. Police say 2 attackers opened fire at people waiting at a bus stop in northwest Jerusalem. Several people were also injured, some of them in serious condition. The 2 attackers are also dead. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu visited the scene, saying authorities are surrounding the villages where the attackers came from. Hamas has praised the shooting but did not claim responsibility. This was the deadliest shooting attack in Jerusalem in almost 2 years. U.S. President Donald Trump is now threatening tougher sanctions against Russia after its largest aerial assault on Ukraine since the war began. Yesterday's strikes killed 4 people, including a mother and her baby, and damaged Ukraine's main government building in Kyiv. Ukraine said the attack involved at least 800 drones and 13 missiles. Trump has previously threatened harsher measures against Russia, but has not taken any action. When asked on Sunday if he was prepared to move to the, quote, second phase of punishing Moscow, Trump said yes, but gave no details on what that would look like. The Saskatchewan Rough Riders took the Banjo Bowl in Winnipeg Saturday night, beating the Blue Bombers 21-13.
Pressure coming in. Caleras, they got him. Ball's out. Riders have it, and Caleras is down.
Bombers quarterback Zach Caleros left the game in the third quarter due to an injury. CFL Hall of Famer Milt Stegall, the league's all-time touchdown leader, weighed in after the game saying, quote, "If I see Caleros back on the field, I'd be surprised. I think his career should be over." The team has not yet provided an official update on Caleros' condition. Look at these penguins go. These 9 Magellanic penguins are heading back to their natural homes on the coast of Chile. They were rescued from different parts of the country and then given rehab. This species of penguins was considered near threatened for 16 years. Their population has now grown to about 3 million. So cool. Look at this traffic along Notre Dame Avenue. Things have picked up, buses are moving, and things look pretty good so far at this point. If you see any problems out on your drive, please let us know. Harvest Manitoba, it's a busy place all the time. There are lots of people working away early in the morning. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Rochelle. It's not just us. There's people here doing very important work, and there's a 40-year milestone. Susan Robinson joins us now to tell us all about it. 40 years, so many people reflecting back on it. Why is that milestone so key and important?
I think it's key for 2 reasons. It really speaks to that generosity of Manitobans, 40 years of giving. Unfortunately, it also means that need still persists. When Harvest opened its doors in 1985 as Winnipeg Harvest, it was a very different organization. We distributed 200,000 pounds of food a year. Now that's what we distribute each and every week. So it's that need has continued. The generosity of Manitobans has continued, but it's a very different place. It's a special place, but we rely on Manitobans for that help. So when we first opened our doors, all of our food was donated. Now with the increase in need, we're purchasing over $2 million in food every year for our hamper program. So yeah, really rely on Manitobans and have appreciated that support over 40 years, 40 remarkable years. Wow. Yeah.
And speaking of, there's going to be people watching going, I think I would like to help for obvious reasons, but there's various ways that people can do that. What are they?
For sure. So this year, with our 40th anniversary, there'll be special ways to support Harvest, special ways that we didn't necessarily have in prior years. So our Empty Bowls Gala is back, or Empty Bowls Dinner. There'll be ways for folks to support that event. It's actually sold out, but there'll be wonderful auction items, and donations will be, if you check back in early October, you'll be able to donate on our site to our Empty Bowls and look at those wonderful prizes. Folks can always start a food drive, donations at harvestmanitoba.ca. There's lots of ways to help. I think we've all been touched and seen the ways to support, when you go to the grocery store or tin for the bin, but just ask folks to continue to think of Harvest as they've done for 40 years. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And before we're out of time, too, I'm going to say something, but what's the website first?
harvestmanitoba.ca.
Okay, perfect. I wanted to say, too, for the folks who are used to, sending checks, that is amazing. But, get someone to help you. Head to the website, do the donations. There's lots of different ways to do that. Okay. Back to you, Rochelle.
Thank you, Ainsley. The broader trade war with the U.S. is making for a painfully slow summer for duty-free shops. At least one store has closed. CTV's Sarah Plowman on what's needed to save others.
Along New Brunswick's border with Maine, a long-standing duty-free shop is now shut. The owner felt he had no choice. Travel here is down, and so are sales.
I cannot continue to pay the bills when there's no money coming in.
Now, souvenirs sit on mostly empty shelves. Some items symbolize the U.S.-Canada partnership, but John Slip has watched that relationship fray.
This relationship is taking a long-term change. Canadians are not going to rush back across the border just because there's a trade deal.
For months, Canadian travel to the U.S. has plummeted. In July, return trips from the States by car dropped nearly 37%.
A lot of Canadians are just choosing not to go to the U.S. anymore. They're choosing to go to Europe, stay within Canada, or even internationally.
The association representing 32 duty-free shops warns more are on the brink of closure.
We've been calling it a crisis for a number of months now.
The owner of this duty-free shop says he could reopen one day, but only if there's significant change. Slip has been calling for government help like loan and rent deferral programs.
I have no revenue coming in. I'm still paying rent on the land, so that's a challenge in and of itself.
How much is your rent?
It's too much.
Last week, the Carney government announced help for businesses hurt by the trade war, including more liquidity. Duty-free stores are trying to learn what it means for them.
Yes, the liquidity will be helpful, but we also need some measures that we've been asking them for, some regulatory measures that will help us be more competitive with the United States.
Also important here is more certainty that travel will bounce back. And so for now, Slip's shop will stay closed until he's sure business will get better. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Belleville, New Brunswick.
It's on the cloudier side outside as we look through as we look through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. Lack of sunshine perhaps, but no lack of heat. Now that temperature has started to rise, we're likely in for above seasonal mercury values throughout the day today. 9 degrees at the moment here in Winnipeg and in Gimli, Pinawa as well. Also sitting at 9 degrees right along this west central border. Double digits for Melita and Kenora. And a seasonal 7 degrees in places like Morden Winkler, Sprague, Brandon, Portage la Prairie, still a little bit cooler coming in at 6 right now. It seems to be the coolest spot in the province, in fact, because even northern Manitoba is seeing numbers above that in the high single digits or even some double digits in places like Flin Flon and Island Lake. Now, there will be the heavier clouds, yes, but even the possibility of some scattered precipitation, and that chance is certainly there today. Pretty much throughout the province, or for most places anyway. 9 degrees now as we're sending kids off to school. With increasing clouds, we'll head to a high of 21 by the time they're coming home today. I shouldn't have called that a high. That'll be the temperature by the time kids are coming home, but our high temperature might be a degree warmer than that. 22 is where we'll likely top out for today, with the possibility of showers, but then clearing overnight. So sunshine then for the next couple of days and even warmer temperatures ahead. And still in those mid-20s, but we could be seeing some precipitation toward the end of the week, just to see it clearing out perfectly timed for the weekend. Plenty of sunshine expected with beautiful temps Saturday, Sunday. We're taking a break, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Morning, it's 8:15. A group of women and girls took to the sky over Ottawa this weekend, learning what it's like to be a pilot. The popular annual event aims to get more people interested in a career in aviation. CTV's Kimberly Johnson reports.
Maggie Wolcott is taking it all in.
It looks so cool.
As she flies through the air, it's the 9-year-old's first time in a small airplane.
This is my favorite day so far.
A tour with her mom, part of Girls Fly Day, where women and girls get to fly in a small airplane for free. Her mom says she hopes it sparks an interest in aviation.
She can do anything she wants, and this is the kind of experience that lets her know she can do whatever she wants.
The 99s are an international organization of female pilots. The event hosted by the Eastern Ontario chapter, along with the Rockcliffe Flying Club and the Canada Aviation and Space Museum.
It was cool. It was fun. It was like I was flying the plane.
A 15-minute route to see both sides of the Ottawa River, a first for this reporter as well. The 99 say only 4% of pilots worldwide are women, and so an event like this is meant to help women and girls see themselves in the cabin.
A lot of young girls don't realize that girls can be pilots, women can be pilots, and we find that the earlier we can give them the experience of flying, the more likely they are to consider it as a potential career.
They guided through me like the process, so after we took off, it was nice to see everything.
It was fun to see like everything's so small. Yeah, it was kind of scary, but it was really fun. It was awesome.
This is Carol Rondo's first time in an airplane in decades, and getting to go up is a bucket list moment.
Just being above everything and looking down. It's awesome.
Kimberly Johnson, CTV News.
Tourism operators affected by wildfires across Canada are struggling, including in northern Manitoba. The Indigenous Tourism Association of Canada says business in the region is down 30% this summer. Outfitting businesses that cater to hunters and fishers have been most affected. Travel Manitoba has launched a brand new campaign to encourage visitors either from here or from outside the province to come and explore Manitoba. Joining us now is Erica Seals, the owner of Barrier Bay Resort. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning.
Well, thanks for joining us. Now, tell us about your resort. Where are you located exactly?
We're in the North Whiteshell, so between Nudamik and Dorothy Lake. And we are an adults-only resort, but we actually are my husband and I are partners of leading the North Whiteshell Business Association, and there's 12 resorts actually along 307 here.
Okay, so it sounds like a perfect spot for that. How have the wildfires affected the Barrier Bay Resort?
It's been really hard this season for us and all of the resorts along 307 because the campgrounds were empty. So we had the entire summer, the campgrounds were empty. We were evacuated for only 6 days. So we were lucky that way. We weren't gone for longer. But even after we got back, the store and all the food services in the area have been really down because campers were afraid to come. And even cottagers, we've noticed, haven't been out that much this summer.
And so because of that, what does it mean to your bottom line?
Oh, it's like less than half. Like the store sales and food services have been less than half. So the resort side of things is okay because a lot of the resorts here, we're all family resorts along here. So we've had the same people come back for 20, 30 years. Mm-hmm. So in terms of the resort side, it's okay because we've built relationships with people. So they're going to come no matter what.
Okay, so Travel Manitoba has just launched a new campaign designed to attract visitors this fall to northern Manitoba. The theme is Travel with Your Heart in the Right Place. It's really meant to encourage people to visit the region and some of the beautiful destinations here. They're hoping to target not only local tourists, but international ones as well. Erica, what does this campaign mean to you?
I think it's fantastic. I think even the name, Travel with Your Heart in the Right Place, I think they hit the nail on the head there. I think they really get what's great about Manitoba is that we are all about hospitality. We're not just about renting space. We're about connecting people to the place that we care about. If you talk to the different resort owners across Manitoba, you'll see that it's all about relationship. It's all about building relationship, about sharing what we have. We know how beautiful Manitoba is. We know we're a world-class destination, and we're ready. We're ready to welcome people internationally or just our local, Winnipeggers. We have a lot of people from Winnipeg that come out and love the Whiteshell, and we love sharing it with them.
So just because summer is coming to an end doesn't mean that you're closed?
Oh, no, we're open year-round.
Okay, so you're encouraging people to come and check you out?
Absolutely, we're here and we're ready.
Okay, and Barrier Bay Resort, you just have a website, that's where you book?
Yeah, you can book online on our website. You can give us a call. Some people don't like the internet, so they can call us. We're here for every age group, and we just want to give a shout out to our Minister of Parks, Minister Mike Moise. He's doing a fantastic job of doing everything he can to support all the businesses in the park.
Well, Erica, thank you for your time. We wish you all the best this fall season. Hopefully you get a lot of people out there throughout the winter as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. And yeah, fall is slowly getting here, but it's going to feel like summer this week.
This way. I mean, it certainly felt like fall had arrived quickly and harshly last week with those below seasonal temperatures. It seemed to be a bit of a shock to the systems of many of us. But now we're going to be back up to the beautiful September weather even slightly above seasonal throughout most of this week. 9 degrees is where we're sitting right now. A normal low would be around 7, so we're already above that. Our coolest temperature, for example, was 8 degrees. South-southeast winds are 18 kilometers per hour, with the pressure falling and the humidity sitting at 87%. And I have been watching the clouds stacking up through the day from the clear sky that we had this morning with that full moon on display. It was looking gorgeous. If you did miss the full moon last night, I have posted a video on my Instagram. You can check it out there. It was looking gorgeous and bright, but now we've got these clouds that have moved in, but they should be clearing out again in the overnight hours, and that moon might not be as full, but still, it'll be beautiful. And you can check it out this coming night with the clouds clearing out. The temperatures will be on the rise today, but even with the extra clouds, there's the possibility of some scattered showers throughout the province today, and above seasonal temperatures topping out at about 22 degrees here in Winnipeg, when 20 is normal for this time of year. I mentioned it clearing out overnight. That'll set us up for even more sunshine tomorrow and Wednesday. Beverly was able to capture the moon, not just the moon. She caught it at that moment when it turned that crimson red as the eclipse was happening. Thank you for this, and keep the photos coming, please, to Winnipeg weather at ctv.ca.
A scary attraction will return early next month, and we want you to join in on the fun. Heebie-Jeebies features over 1 kilometer of mazes, photo ops, carnival games, and more than 140 characters and 50 animatronic scares. We're giving away tickets for a special night on a Friday, October the 3rd, for you and 3 friends or family members, where you can join our friends from Virgin 1031. To enter the contest page on our website, ctvnewswinnipeg.ca, enter your details, and don't forget the keyword boo. Good luck.
CTV Morning Live Weather brought to you by ABC Fire and Safety, your CO2 refill store.
The tourist season is starting to wind down, but it's still quite busy, especially in Atlantic Canada. A busy cruise schedule and an influx of American visitors has resulted in the perfect recipe for a busy and profitable season. CTV's Paul Hollingsworth has more.
The boardwalk on Halifax's waterfront is the top tourist attraction in Atlantic Canada. Typically, visitors start here and then travel throughout the region.
3.5 million people walk along this waterfront every year, and it keeps growing. But my gosh, they come here for Peggy's Cove, for the Bay of Fundy, for Anne of Green Gables, Cape Breton.
This Peggy's Cove restaurant is having its busiest summer ever, which fits the overall positive tourist trend in Halifax.
We're up a couple percent in June. We're up 5% in July. The numbers are still coming in for August.
The numbers are up largely because of the cruise industry, which brings more than 300,000 people to Nova Scotia each year. 60 cruise ships will dock in Halifax in September alone. Expanding the cruise schedule paves the way for a surge in visitors, and it allows tourism operators a chance to extend the season well past August.
It's gotten a little longer every year. This year it's extremely long, with the first arrival was April 4th, and the last arrival is scheduled for November 19th.
Domestic travel is also on the rise, with people choosing to spend their money in Canada instead of the U.S.
We also come to realize there's a lot of Canada we haven't seen yet.
A favorable exchange rate on the U.S. dollar means there's no shortage of Americans traveling north.
Loving it. Yeah, started in Montreal and went up to St. Louis, all the way around Newfoundland.
Dennis Campbell was braced for a drop in U.S. visitation this summer.
I was very wrong. I'm very glad to be wrong. The American visitation is very strong. It's actually up.
One notable downside, there is a shortage in hotel room availability, but new facility construction is well underway as the tourism industry continues to reach record-breaking levels in Atlantic Canada. Paul Hollingsworth, CTV News, Halifax.
CTV Morning Live is brought to you by Robin's Donuts, your favorite stop.
Get Growing is back. It's so good to be back alongside Carla Hirsch-Center here at St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Center. It's hard to believe that it's been this long since we've spent time together, but we're talking fall planting, but thinking even further ahead.
We are, because the fall, when you start gardening in the fall, you're actually thinking, yeah, fall planting, but for spring. And this is where we
I
go
like
through. I know, we're springing ahead already. And most people, when you're thinking about fall planting, it's getting back in the garden. But this is the time where if you're reflective and you think, gee, you know, last year I saw beautiful tulips and I saw these big orbs of purple. Those are the alliums. And if you miss planting them now, you're not going to have them in your garden for spring next year. Oh, wow. So at the garden centers here, we have collections. And if you're going into different categories, it's always like you're teased by the colors. But when what you're looking for is whether it's a mid-spring or late spring flowering tulip that's on there that you can have. Now, alliums, of course, there's different sizes, and believe it or not, some of these alliums, you can look at the sizes of them, they will be 6, 8 inches in size. And again, the color combinations that are in there, so this is the time that you want to put it in. This is the time that you want to put bone meal as a nutrient base, so that when you're planting them in the garden, that they get a little bit of root establishment on them in order for them to then go into that dormant stage for over the winter. Now, we teased you with a look from, I don't know if Kenny can start here, and when you spend, you can see, and it's like, what is the best thing to be doing in the garden right now?
Well, you knew that an Italian was coming by, so you said, let's make a whole row of garlic.
Okay, and I'm married into a Ukrainian, so the garlic is the big key player here. So when you're looking at it, a lot of it, and again, it's bulb size. Some of you may think of the garlic that's in here as such large pieces. Like these are the individual little cloves that you have. So when you have the cloves, those are the ones that you're dividing up. But the mildness that you're going to get from a elephant garlic versus going into some of the spiciness or the heat that you get from some of the other ones. Russian red and Russian purple are really common ones that we like, because it is looking for hardneck, which is a very common one that we want to be overwintering and growing in our gardens. And again, still with your bulbs, it traditionally looks like the big cloves of garlic, but when you open them up, you'll find that you will have to split, divide, and do your planting.
Well, lucky for you, I'm half Italian and half vampire. So this segment is just perfect. And I'm looking forward to spring, even better. This has been Get Growing.
Get Growing, brought to you by St. Mary's Nursery and Garden Center. Get a lush yard and garden, thanks to expert advice from gardening professionals.
It's a beautiful start to your morning. It's a little bit cloudy, but the temps are nice. 9 degrees is where we're sitting right now, and the wind's on the lighter side, or at least moderate. It's an 18K breeze out of the south-southeast. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 87%. You can see there's not a lot of sunshine to enjoy out there today, and probably won't be, but we're still going to get some pretty nice temperatures. Better than last week anyway. Last week I know was cool all throughout the week and even rolled into the weekend with those cool temperatures, but by Sunday it started to warm up, and today will be even warmer yet, and tomorrow even warmer, Wednesday warmer yet. It's just going to continue heating up throughout the week. Yes, we've got the heavier clouds for now, and even some possible precipitation. That chance of showers is there pretty much throughout the province today. 22 degrees is where we're headed as far as temperatures go, though, and 20 is a normal daytime high. So above seasonal temps with winds out of the south at about 15 kilometers per hour. They'll remain light overnight as we drop down to 11 degrees. The clouds begin to clear in the overnight hours, and that'll set us up for all of the sunshine for tomorrow. 24 degrees. I mentioned it gets hotter and even warmer yet on Wednesday, up to 26 degrees, remaining in those mid-20s, but not with the sunshine. We'll see some heavier clouds and maybe some scattered showers or rain by the end of the week. And then perfectly timed for the weekend. Sunshine is back and those mid-20 temperatures stick around.
Thanks, Terry. 2 homes caught fire early Saturday morning in Winnipeg's North End. Firefighters were called to the 400 block of Redwood Avenue just after 12 a.m. When crews arrived, they found 2 homes burning, one of them vacant and boarded up. Firefighters brought it under control about an hour later. According to the Winnipeg Fire Paramedic Service, one of the homes has now burned 6 times in the past 2 years, twice in 2023, 3 times in 2024, and Saturday is the 6th time. No injuries were reported, and the cause of the fire is under investigation. More turbulence when it comes to the labor dispute between Air Canada and its flight attendants, with the airline's latest wage offer being rejected.
The magnitude of the defeat. I mean, I can't remember the last time that 99% of the members overturned or voted down the deal negotiated by their own leadership. So it suggests that they're very, very upset.
Voting wrapped up this weekend, and flight attendants voted 99.1% against the company's offer. The proposed wage hike was 12% for flight attendants with 5-year service or less, and 8% for employees with 6 years of service or more. So what happens now? Well, the wage dispute will now head to mediation, and the union says the other approved terms will carry over into a new collective agreement. The partially rejected deal, which ended last month's strike, had included pay raises and a new structure for time worked while planes are on the ground. An Interlake pumpkin farmer says she's overwhelmed by the kindness of strangers after a social media post assembled a community-wide effort to save her crops. Melody Schwabe runs Schwabe Pumpkins in the RM of St. Andrews. After a damaging frost Friday morning, she posted an emotional video asking for help. Within hours, many people who she'd never met showed up to help harvest pumpkins before another frost hit. Some brought food and drinks. Others came with their kids ready to work. Schwabe says she's still trying to find the words to express her gratitude.
I'm just so grateful for everybody, and literally I'm blown away by the people that showed up. Like, you know, the sweetest people. Yeah, humans are pretty wonderful.
Schwabe says the pumpkins were still premature, but the frost forced an early harvest. She hopes to find ways to give back to the community that rallied around her. Now this guy is legendary. Hikers climbing Huron Peak in Colorado recently had a chance to cool off, thanks to a cool guy who brought ice cream up the mountain. He had it on dry ice, so it stayed frozen. It was easy to tell who the ice cream guy was, too, since he was dressed literally as an ice cream guy, wearing an ice cream cone costume. Many businesses use social media to help build their brand, but there is growing concern among Instagram users about accounts being wrongly suspended. CTV's Alison Bamford spoke with a pair of business owners who lost access and are pointing the finger at artificial intelligence.
Log in.
Chase Flair is working out with a client, sessions he'd typically post on his Instagram account to promote his gym.
It's literally the center, the nucleus of the marketing for those companies.
That is until his profile went black.
I thought that maybe it was a glitch.
Flair received this email from Meta last week informing him his account had been suspended due to activity that does not follow community standards on abuse.
It's a big ball of shock. Obviously, if anyone's ever followed my Instagram page, they know none of my content has anything to do with abuse of anything.
This is a global problem, and there really is no solution.
Tech experts say Meta's AI content monitoring system is likely to blame for incorrectly flagging and suspending accounts.
AI content moderation is not perfect, and there are false positives that come out, unfortunately, quite frequently.
Saskatoon photographer Paige Bell lost her business Instagram account in June, along with the client traffic. Some 320,000 monthly page views and 50% of the hits to her website, all collateral damage.
And I rely on it for my income and my clientele, and even the small things like messaging clients and helping them pick their photo location.
Meta gives users 180 days to appeal a suspension, a process that didn't work for Flair or Bell. Now they're left to rebuild a following that this time they hope stays.
That is definitely a big fear, is losing it all over again.
Mass suspensions have swept through Instagram and Facebook over the last few months. CTV News reached out to Meta for comment but did not hear back. However, in June, the company reportedly said it was working to fix a technical error. Alison Bamford, CTV News, Saskatoon.
And here's what's happening in traffic along Kenniston Boulevard. Things are moving well here. No issues to tell you about at this point. If you see any traffic problems, let us know, please. And here's a look at your gas prices. The Canadian average is $1.41. The provincial average is $1.37. In Winnipeg, the average is also $1.37. The lowest price in Winnipeg is $1.26. All this info is on gasbuddy.com.
Price at the pump brought to you by kidneycard.ca. Get a free tow and a tax receipt for value of your car.
Harvest Manitoba has a lot of wonderful programs, including Meals to Go. Good morning, Ainsley.
Good morning. We're in the midst of back to school, and it's perfect time to talk about the Meals to Go program and their 40th anniversary. Grace Hodge joins us now to tell us all about it. So let's pack a back to school lunch.
Yeah, so these are the products that we have for our Meals to Go program. So Meals to Go is a weekend breakfast program that we have in schools in Manitoba, and we aim to nourish kids on the 2 days a week that they don't have access to their in-school meal program. So we pack these kits using these ingredients on a weekly basis on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and then we distribute them to the schools on Fridays, and the kids will take them home for over the weekend.
And hopefully you guys are able to expand within this school year, so I hope people can donate and make sure that that is possible. Tell us about these potential expansion plans.
Yeah, so we have a wait list of schools that have the interest and have the need for the program. Our goal is always to continue expanding with the support of the community. As of last school year, we're feeding about 5,000 students per week, so packing 5,000 of these bags and distributing them to schools on the weekend.
And when it comes to the healthy lunch options, there's also some special notes of encouragement. Tell us about them.
Yeah, so these are our little affirmation notes. So we have community members far and wide making these for us, and they're just little notes of encouragement. So anything positive that might brighten a kid's day when they go to open their kit. So if you're looking for a kind of volunteer from home kind of opportunity, this is the perfect thing. You can do it with coworkers, do it with your families over the weekends, make some of these positive notes, and then you can drop them off here at Harvest, and we'll happily pack them into the kits.
It's the easiest thing in the world to do too. And you know what? If there's any teachers watching or friends of teachers, I strongly encourage you guys to make that happen. Harvest Manitoba turns 40 this year. Can you believe it? If you want to donate, head to a link on our website.
Thank you, Ainsley. Let's go out to the rooftop now. Ooh, the breeze is picking up a little bit out there.
I'm noticing that. And Rochelle, I'm also seeing the window washers on the Manitoba Hydro building. And I know you washed your windows over the weekend, and you were talking about how high you had to reach. Imagine being up there and then factor in the little bit of a breeze.
Oh my goodness, scary stuff.
Not for the faint of heart, for sure. But otherwise, it's going to be a pretty pleasant day. We do have some heavier clouds, but the temperatures will be a little bit warmer than they've been. Certainly warmer than last week. Last week was much cooler than you would expect this time of year. And this week will be a little bit warmer than you expect this time of year. Not shockingly, but I think a lot of people will find the temperatures throughout this week quite pleasant. And even the conditions not too bad. Ooh, there's that breeze picking up a little bit. It's 9 degrees right now with south-southeast winds, 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity sitting at 87%. Sure, it's on the cloudier side, and there's even the possibility of some precipitation. Maybe don't wash those windows just yet. You're gonna get the streaks from the rain. Anyway, that chance of precipitation goes right across the entire province, about a 30% chance of showers. Then clearing out overnight, and tomorrow and Wednesday, tomorrow's a good day to wash the windows. It's going to be clear and sunny, and even warmer yet. We're going to see the temperatures on the rise through the week with another round of rain probably Thursday, Friday. But the weekend is looking good. Sunshine, mid-20 temperatures expected. Taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
CTV Morning Live weather brought to you by Canadian Footwear, helping you find the perfect fit.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Good morning. Hot air balloons dotted the sky over New Brunswick this weekend. They flew as part of an annual festival which has been running for nearly 40 years. CTV's Sarah Plowman reports.
In September, the skies above Sussex shine, dotted with drops of color, big, bright balloons. Chasing them from the ground is part of the fun, but this year Amanda Burke got to fly.
Yeah, it was a blast. It was really fun. It was very enjoyable.
From above, the valley put on a show, just like the festival has for 39 years. The joy, this tradition is shared by generations. Brock Jorgensen's mom brought him here. Now he brings his daughter.
A big part of town and living in town is getting in your vehicle, like in the wee hours of
the morning with your parents and following all the balloons out to the countryside.
Now a cinematographer, he loves to showcase and share what's special about his hometown.
What's really awesome about it is when you see them up in the sky like as one unit, it's just beautiful. And it's really cool to watch because they bring in like different shapes every year.
Pilot Bill Whalen has flown here since the late 80s, even though he insists he's afraid of heights.
There's many of us that are a little nervous of heights, and I've been up 13,000+ feet.
As a trainer, he teaches the next generation, like Delia Dory, who's about to officially gain her wings.
Last July, I went one flight and I was so mesmerized I came down and was like, I'm doing it.
Balloons launch in the morning and at night, but the wind and weather doesn't always cooperate. About half the flights have been grounded so far.
I mean, that's the one thing we can't control no matter how many hours we put into it, unfortunately.
And that makes moments like these even more rare. And for those taking it in, all that more special. Sarah Plowman, CTV News, Sussex, New Brunswick.
A Winnipeg Women's Only Club has been gathering, connecting, and learning together for 118 years. The Women's Canadian Club of Winnipeg was formed in 1907, and it still exists today, providing a way for women to gather, share stories, and celebrate our Canadian heritage. But the club is looking to recruit new members. Joining us now from the Women's Canadian Club are Karen McCreary and Iris Morstad. Good morning to both of you.
Good morning.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. Now, Iris, you've been a member for 30 years.
Yes.
Karen, this is your aunt. You
Yes.
started about 4 years ago.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about its beginnings back in 1907. What made it start and who started it?
Well, there was a men's club at that time, and the men's club had a luncheon, and the speaker at that time was Rudyard Kipling, the British poet laureate. And the women were not allowed to attend, but his wife came, and so the women were supposed to take care of the wife. Well, they kind of got together and they thought it would be fun to go up into the gallery, sneak up in the gallery and have a look, because she had never heard her husband speak. And that's how it started. They went up there, they saw that, and everybody got together and thought it was a great idea. And
that's how it started.
Right away, yeah, they had a meeting after, and so.
Wow, so in 118 years, what has happened with the club? How many members would you say have been part of the club?
Oh, in the old days there were over 2,000. 2,500 people were coming. Of course, we're nowhere near that now.
But back then it was sort of a place where women could gather, right?
Big, yeah, really big.
Okay, and so you joined 4 years ago.
Yes, I did.
Why did you feel the need to join?
To be part of something, that promotes Canada. We're all about everything Canadian and making sure that we are reinforcing all the good things about Canada.
But you find that your membership has slipped a little bit.
It has, especially since COVID.
Yeah.
We lost some members during COVID, and we've lost some just due to age. And we're always recruiting new members, and actually now we can also are allowing men to become members. So,
cool.
Yes.
So what do you do? Tell us a little bit about what your mandate is and how you gather and what you do when you gather.
We gather for lunches. We have lunches monthly. This year we've switched to every second month just because our membership has declined a little bit, and we want to try to drum up some new interests. We meet at the convention center for lunches. We have speakers and entertainment. This month is Diamond Doug Keith. He's a cowboy poet. And we have games and prizes, and everybody's to dress up in their best cowboy attire. And we have a photo booth, so it is a lot of fun.
Okay, so if someone's watching, what would you tell them to encourage them that this is the club to join?
It's a great place to meet people and make friends and foster relationships that last a lifetime.
And the luncheon is coming up as well later this month?
Yes, September 16th, actually, is the Cowboy Poet Luncheon.
And so anybody who wants to join can certainly join at that event. It sounds like a good time. Just bring your cowboy hat.
Yes, exactly. And get ready to have some fun.
Okay. Your blue jeans and your energy. Well, thank you, ladies. Thank you for sharing this with us. And if you do want more information on the club, we have a link on our website.
Thank you.
Marking my calendar for September 16th, ladies. All right, 9 degrees right now, south-southeast winds 18 kilometers per hour. The pressure is falling and the humidity is sitting at 87%. It is a little bit cloudy out there right now, and there's a possibility of some precipitation. Right now we're seeing the green showing up in areas just to the north of us, but pretty much across the province that chance of showers is there. There will be a couple of places that'll look a little bit brighter, like Thompson, mix of sun and cloud, 19 degrees. I should mention, temperatures are likely to be above seasonal all throughout the province. A little bit cooler in Churchill at 11 degrees, but nearly everybody else will be up into those high teens or even low 20s. Lynn Lake might enjoy a little more sunshine today. And in fact, along this western border, you'll see clearing through the afternoon with increasing amounts of sunshine. But first, the heavier clouds and the possibility of those scattered showers. Temperatures, though, they are going to be looking at or feeling good. Mid-20s all across southern Manitoba, when 20 degrees would be a normal daytime high. We'll be just into those low 20s, but it will continue to warm up throughout the week. And further to the east of us, a clearer day. We can expect that clearing to happen overnight. And so for tomorrow and Wednesday, mainly sunny conditions as the temperatures continue to rise. Might get a little bit cloudy, could be a little bit soggy for the latter part of the week, but then the weekend, that's perfectly timed out. Mother Nature gifting us a little more sunshine and pleasant temperatures throughout. We're taking a break right now, but we'll be back with more CTV Morning Live.
Rooftop arrangements provided by Lacoste Garden Center. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Before we wrap up this Monday show, we're going to send you off with some fun video. First off, parenting boys can be messy. Yeah, these two brothers aren't afraid to get messy. It's a good thing they're wearing protective goggles, though, because little bro sticks his face right in the splash zone. Looks like a good time.
Does it?
Skin, sometimes all it takes to pull off a little prank is the right choice of words.
Do you ever wish that you were, like, athletic?
I can swing like a pro. I'm sorry. What? Because I am extremely athletic.
This woman asked, do you ever wish you were athletic? And her husband immediately got defensive. She knew how to instantly press his buttons. It works. She knows what to do. And finally, when you learned how to drive, did you have a good instructor? This teen has some feedback for his mom.
Oh.
This is Mom. Noah! Stop! Slow down!
He says she's very encouraging after their lessons, but he certainly has some critiques about her reactions during the lesson. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm in the thick of it right now with, sitting shotgun, and there are times that, like, you're grabbing the dash.
Trying to press the brake, and there's no brake there. Well,
that's good. We haven't crashed yet.
Well, that's good. That does it for us. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you tomorrow.